greatest setting in college football. We're at Husky Stadium.
We have Ducks by the lake.
Rifle to the end zone, touchdown. Washington surges in front.
Headed to the house, touchdown Ducks. That's why they call him the game writer.
It's Oregon and Washington.
And welcome back, everyone, to Seattle and Husky Stadium. This is Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One. You're watching the Pac-12 on ESPN. You know, they say that in the spiritual realm, rain symbolizes prosperity. Well, we'll see which one of these two teams prospers when this night is over. Anthony Brown getting ready to go for the Oregon Ducks. Washington winning the toss, deferring to the second half, so Oregon will have the football first. They'll receive. Mikhail Wright back deep for this kickoff. And you see people with their rain gear on here. It's been raining for most of the day, which is no surprise in Seattle here in the Northwest. Washington coming in at 4-4 against the 7-1 Oregon Ducks. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for quarterback Anthony Brown. 65% completion rate coming into the game tonight. He's thrown 10 touchdown tosses, took against just 3 interceptions. But last week perhaps played his best game as an Oregon Duck, Robert. 25 of 31 passing, 307 yards, seemingly peaking at the right time.
Yeah, it's not easy to play this position, right? He showed growth and development, his decision making, his ability to distribute the ball. He has been under fire a little bit this year, but he stayed resilient, and the results are starting to show on the field.
Brown pulls it out, throws, delivers, incomplete in the middle of the field. He was trying to hit Jalen Red as we take a look at tonight's Chick-fil-A impact players.
Yes, on the offensive side of the ball, it's Travis Dye. Look, he's got no swag. He doesn't really wear gloves or anything like that. But, hey, he is their leading passer, receiver, and he's their leading rusher. And then on the defensive side, we got Zion Tupuola-Fatoyi, and he is a dynamic pass rusher, possible first-round pick in the draft next year.
Dye empties out the backfield. Brown's going to keep it himself on the predetermined quarterback run. And it looks like he has enough for the first down. Got about 11 before being pushed out of bounds by Dominique Hampton. Let's take a look at RG's keys.
We go right here. We got Mount Thibodeau. No, we're not talking about the sitcom Friends. We're talking about Kayvon Thibodeau. And Washington needs to find him on every play and know where he is because he's a game wrecker. And we'll get to the rest of these keys after this play right here.
Brown with plenty of time slings it close to the carpet, but they're going to say that it's caught right there at about the 45 by Terrence Ferguson. The talented tight end picks up 9 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and short.
Here it is. You see the delivery from Anthony Brown. Let's see if he caught this pass. Oh, I don't know. Looked like it bounced off the turf, if you ask me. Maybe it bounced off his funny bone.
I would have agreed with you, but they're going to run it and pick up the first down. Travis Dye. Let's get back to RG3's keys. A couple more to talk about.
And when we talk about where's Otten, Washington needs to get Cade Otten the ball on offense. He's the best combo tight in the Pac-12. He can catch the rock and block. And for emotional baggage, look, this is a rivalry game, but don't let your emotions turn into mistakes. Before you do anything, ask yourself, would an idiot do that?
It's under further review.
Oh, they're going to review that play.
Wow, so they're going to
maybe
go back
one. I was going to say maybe they didn't get that play off
Yeah.
before. But like I was saying, with the emotional baggage, before you do something, ask yourself, would an idiot do that? And if he would, don't do that thing. You see this right here. The ball looks like it bounces off the ground and then into the hands of the tight end. So
Ferguson, I think, scooped that off the turf, although he sold it pretty well.
He did. He must be taking some acting classes over there at Oregon.
You talk about poise, one of the underlying themes in a rivalry game like this. It's the 113th edition of Oregon and Washington as we take one more look.
Here it is again. You see the ball. Boop. They playing basketball out there, man.
That's a bounce pass.
It's a bounce pass. Thumbs down. Fundamentals.
Yep. We're talking about the need for poise. Coach Lake actually addressed his team yesterday about keeping their composure, about staying steady, not being too emotional, and riding a steady wave in terms of just not getting too high, not getting too low.
Yeah, and you talk about that, and we talked about him this week.
After review, there is no replay because we had another play after that completed catch.
That's what we all thought.
Yeah, that's what we all thought. Yeah, I don't know how they were able to even get that review down after the play was run. There was no stoppage of the clock or anything.
Yep.
So
let's keep it moving from midfield at the 50-yard line. Yeah, we had remarked that, surprised that they were able to actually go back and look at that in the first place. Second-year head coach, Coach Lake, former coordinator here at Washington.
I was going to say they were trying to circumvent the rules and run it back real quick, huh?
Red in motion. Got a trips left formation for Brown. He hands it off. This is Dye, going to be brought down after a gain of 2. Cameron Williams with a nice tackle. Good to see Williams back on the screen there for Washington, returning from a hand injury.
Yeah, both these teams have been dealing with injuries throughout the year. You could probably say that about almost every program around the nation, but it is great to see Cameron Williams back out there, and hopefully he can have a good game today.
2nd and 8, Ferguson in motion. Now he sets. Brown on the slant, picked! Coming back the other way, Bruner! One guy to beat, and Brown wraps him up inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Carson Bruner, with a flag down, was the conference freshman of the week after a big week last week. I mean, he had a beat on that football and caught it in stride. If it stands, it'll be the Huskies' 9th pick of the year.
I mean, Carson Bruner didn't just have a beat on this bad boy. I don't even think Anthony Brown saw him. Look, he was eyeing his receiver, staring him down. Carson Bruner came out of nowhere, and you see him right here on the All-22 camera. He just throws it right to him. I don't know, maybe the logo. Maybe he was blending in with the logo. He couldn't see him, but Carson Bruner's running, and Anthony Brown did the one thing you're supposed to do at quarterback.
What's that?
You make sure they don't get that pick six, man.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you don't get that pick six. You go, you run him down, you make the tackle, but nice play by Carson Bruner, and very instinctive play.
Let's get the call.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 4, intercepting team, and number 2, passing team. By rule, those penalties are canceled. First down, Washington.
1st and goal for the Huskies. Bruner, whose dad played here at the University of Washington, Mark Bruner, former receiver. He's a former receiver, switched to inside linebacker, and Robert looked very much the part of a former receiver right there, the way he caught that and
he
ran.
showed off those hands, didn't he? And got vertical down the field with it. And you said he was named the Pac-12 Freshman of the Week, but he was actually the Pac-12 Defensive of the Player of the Week and the Freshman Player of the Week. That's never really happened.
Lots of accolades coming his way with plays like this.
Yeah.
There have been some questionable unsportsmanlike conduct penalties over the last several weeks in college football. Coach Lake incensed, irate about something there on the field.
And when we talked to Coach Lake this week, he said he went through and showed his team all the plays over the past couple of weeks where guys have gotten a little emotional and let it get the best of them and hurt their team so that they wouldn't do that coming into this game. And I didn't really see it there.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything there that would say, hey, this is a penalty, this is a flag worthy of that. So, man.
What's it like that when you pick up that phone after a pick, Robert? You played the position. I'm guessing it happened to you at one point.
Yeah, you're sitting there, you pick up the phone, you're like, yep, I know I messed up.
Okay.
Okay, coach, I got you. I'm going to make up for it on this next drive.
Here we go. Dylan Morris at quarterback, Sean McGrew, the tailback. 1st and goal from just outside the 5. McGrew straight ahead between the tackles down to the 1-yard line. Sean McGrew, the team's leading rusher, approaching 400 yards on the season, picked up 4 that time. Has 6 rushing touchdowns. It'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
This is big right here for Washington. You want to get points off of turnovers, and you don't want to kick field goals. So they got to punch this bad boy in.
Redmond in motion. McGrew. Touchdown Huskies! Great patience.
Oh yeah, Sean McGrew. Listen, if you're not successful the first time, why not try again? He ran right into the back of his offensive lineman, reset himself, and got into the end zone. You can just feel the vibe here in the stadium. This is a venomous rivalry. Bad blood, and Washington's on the board first.
For McGrew, it's his 7th touchdown this season, the 15th of his career. So the Huskies capitalize on the pick.
And here it is, Carson Bruner. Oh, you don't see me? I'll take that. He takes it all the way back into the... And then Sean McGrew gets into the end zone for the UW Huskies.
Welcome back, everyone. You'd have to go back to '94 to find another one of the great moments in this rivalry. Kenny Wheaton stepping in front of that pass for the Ducks and cribbing it, taking it all the way back for the touchdown. And that broke a streak that Washington had at the time against the Ducks. We saw an interception a moment ago that ended with a touchdown for the Huskies. They lead it 7-0 as we check in with the studio. All right, 1st and 10 for the Ducks from their own 25. Byron Cardwell in a tailback. Let's see how Anthony Brown responds after throwing that interception. A nice run, slides in safely, and can't believe there's not a flag.
That might be
there.
a targeting right there.
Oh, there is a flag. Dominique Hampton, number 21, came in, and that might be the perpetrator here. An 11-yard gain. They're going to tack some more yards on this.
Oh, yeah. It's clear that Brown was going down the slide, as you see here, and Dominique Hampton comes out of nowhere, and he does hit him in the head.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, defense, 15-yard penalty. It's an automatic. First down.
They're saying late hit. And that's going to move the ball all the way into Husky territory at the 49-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Ducks.
When you're in a rivalry game, you don't want to come out and shoot yourself in the foot. And you look at their penalties throughout the season, only averaging 4 a game, 39 yards, about 40 yards. They got to keep those to a minimum today because you don't want to give Oregon's offense free plays and free yards to get down the field and score.
1st and 10 for the Ducks. They run it again. Pick up about 3, close to 4 yards. And good time to note that this Oregon Ducks offense is number 2 in the Pac-12 in rushing offense, going against the number 10 rushing defense for the Huskies. Robert, how does that play into the final line in this game here?
Well, it's good on bad, and in a rivalry game, you want to make sure that you win in the trenches. If you're Oregon, right, on defense, you got to pack your defense, bring your own energy. But on offense, you got to be able to run the ball and win in the trenches.
This Ducks offense, the leading scoring team points-wise in the Pac-12, 36 points a game. We're going to take a short break. Back with more right after this.
Saturday Night Football on ABC is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Panoramic view of Lake Washington, one of 3 stadiums accessible by water. Neyland Stadium, McLean Stadium right there in Waco, Texas, and there's the 3rd one in Knoxville, Tennessee. Robert, all we need is a boat. I had some friends line something up for me, but in the end, I kind of bailed on them. No pun intended.
That's good. That's good. I definitely thought you'd be sailgating with the rest of these fans to this game today. Just an iconic tradition here for the Huskies.
One of the most panoramic and best places to watch a college football game. Anthony Brown at quarterback, 2nd and 6. Takes a little counter step, keeps those legs moving. It'll set up a 3rd down and about 1 to go, and we have a flag thrown near the end of the play. This is a game that's rife with emotion.
Oh, wow.
When you talk about a rivalry that's existed 113 previous times.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, number 51 defense, 15-yard penalty. It's an automatic 1st down.
It's against Loloea. And as we pointed out, Coach Jimmy Lake specifically had a cut-up of videos showing his players what not to do yesterday in terms of not keeping your poise.
And you see it right there. Loloea just comes in there at the very end, kind of adds on to the tackle when the guy's already on the ground. Just an unnecessary play.
I'd be hot too. Moves the ball all the way down to the 27. 1st down and 10 for Brown. Ball comes out down the sideline, juggled and incomplete for Dye. Travis Dye, one of his favorite targets. He's the leading rusher and receiver, working against Dominique Hampton. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, you see right here, he has it initially, but he juggles it. And once he juggles it, does he get that other foot in it with control? It doesn't look like it. But when you talk about Travis Dye, he's one of the most competitive guys on this Oregon football team and one of the most versatile. They love using this guy out of the backfield catching the ball.
Remember, they're without C.J. Verdell, injured earlier this season, their number 1 tailback. Play clock down to 5. Brown hands it off to Dye. And Dye picks up a few. It's about 3. Well, the college basketball season tips off Tuesday. What a lineup we have for you on ESPN. The women's hoop matchup of the day is 5 Eastern, number 1 South Carolina against number 5 North Carolina State. Then it's first game of the Champions Classic at Madison Square Garden. Number 3 Kansas against Michigan State, followed by exclusive reveal of the next college football playoff top 25 rankings. And we cap the night with a 2nd Champions Classic matchup, number 11 Kentucky against number 9 Duke, also on the ESPN app. 3rd and 6. Wow, what do you know? Another flag. This is a rhythmic start to this football game.
Oh, you see the defensive line shifted and probably said something to draw the offense off sides there.
False start, number 74, offense, 5-yard penalty, so 3rd down.
That's against Stephen Jones.
Yeah, and Mark, when you talk about the basketball coverage,
Big time of the year coming up. Yep.
It is. Listen, we can't wait to see Dick Vitale back out there. Dickie V, we're praying for you, man. Looking forward to seeing you on that basketball coverage as soon as you're ready to go.
Dickie V, we're declaring health over you right now. 3rd and 12. Brown got rid of it and completes it. Nowhere to go there. That's caught by Devin Williams, but far short of the 1st down. Trent McDuffie right there, the first guy to arrive. We had a great visit with him yesterday, and he was telling us that this is the biggest game of the season for them so far, easily.
Biggest game of the season. He called it a border war, right? He said this is going to be the most electric atmosphere that they have had all season long, and he can't wait to go out there and act a fool.
Camden Lewis coming in to attempt this field goal from 46 yards out. Perfect on the season at 8 for 8. Got it up in the air. And that's Buer. Got it. The Ducks on the board. It's 7-3. Trying to make it 3 consecutive wins against their border war rival. Smooth sailing on choppy waters so far here in Seattle. Back after this.
Purple haze all in my brain. Washington up on the Ducks 7-3 here in Seattle. Speaking with Mario Cristobal, his staff, and two players, Verone McKinley and Anthony Brown this week. I was amazed. Not once did they mention the words college football playoffs. This is a team that is so engrossed in their process, going 1-0 this week, taking care of today, winning today, that the big distractions have not become a factor. Coach Cristobal telling us every week is a playoff. Every game is a playoff now.
Yeah, they seem to be very much in the moment. Exactly where their feet are. And right now kicking off, Giles Jackson back deep for the Huskies after that 7-play, 47-yard drive ending in a 46-yard field goal for the Oregon Ducks. Mario Cristobal, the former offensive lineman at the University of Miami, where he won a couple of national championships. Here's Jackson on the return and pushed out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Let's check out our Nissan Heisman watch. Wow, Coach Lake. Really, one of the coaches there is getting his players back.
Oh, yeah, and you look at this Nissan Heisman watch and you say, well, man, a couple of these teams lost. Well, guess what? It's a wide-open race this year. It's all about how you finish. Kenneth Walker played well today. Sam Hartman played well today. Abram Smith played well today. They all lost.
How about that?
You know? And it's just one of those things. And right here, you look at Jimmy Lake. He's ahead. Oh!
He's making sure that his guys stay back.
Oh, wow.
He's taking matters into his own hands. Pass complete to Jalen McMillan, but nowhere to go. Remember, it was McMillan on the other end of that pass from Dylan Morris that won the game with about 20 seconds to go last week against Stanford. You can always feel the tangible emotions on the field right now. That pass incomplete, intended for McMillan again. You know, Robert, just walking around Seattle the last couple of days, you and I both, you can hear the stories and the anecdotes of the animus, the enmity that exists between the University of Oregon fans and the Husky fans here in Seattle.
Yes, you definitely can feel it. Shoot, I'm walking around at the Space Needle, going to the Glass House, and the fans are talking about it. They have been looking forward to this game all year long.
A couple of states that border each other. 3rd down and 10. Morris fires. It's going to be caught, but about a yard shy of the 1st down. Odunze, working against DJ James, comes up a little bit short. And it's 4th down. In comes the punt unit. And Race Porter for Coach Jimmy Lake. What, Coach Lake is emotional as anyone down in the field right now in some of the instances that we've been seeing.
Yeah, I think Coach Lake just understands that it's those little mistakes that can come back to bite you later on in the game. You don't want to be giving up yards by way of penalty. But I do like the fact that Dylan Morris and this Washington Husky offense is trying to throw the ball early in the game.
Nobody back for this punt for the Ducks, interestingly enough. An end-over-end punt that's going to land inside the 5. Wow, you couldn't have scripted it any better for the Huskies. They let it roll all the way down to the 1-yard line, and Porter says, let's hear it. Show me some love. 65 yards in all. Well, the Ducks really laid it on Colorado a week ago. Scored over $50 against the Buffaloes. It was like target practice.
It was, and we talked about it. Anthony Brown had a career day, 307 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. They had a big breakout game from number 21, Byron Cardwell, at the running back position, going 7 carries for 127 yards. But today, you know, it's been a little bit of a slower start. But look, we got 7 minutes left in the first quarter, and they're going to try to put together a 99-yard drive right here.
Dye running it out of his end zone, brought down. Not going to be a safety, just barely got outside the end zone. Jackson Sermon, and now they rule a safety. They got it.
You can hear the siren from the middle of the city.
The far side official appeared to be spotting it outside the end zone, and then a late signal for the safety.
The ruling on the field is a safety. The previous play is under further review.
You see, it's a safety if he doesn't get the ball out of the end zone and he's tackled there, it will be a safety, but it's just a matter of the camera angle that they can see to see if the ball got fully out of the end zone or not.
This might be a little bit more definitive. It's a little higher. Right there, his forward progress might have been outside.
Yeah.
From our booth, it appeared like he got outside the end zone. Let's take another different angle.
Yeah. The other angle looked better if you're an Oregon Duck fan. Right. It looked like he got out of the end zone. But hey, they ruled it a safety on the field, so it's got to be, you know, overwhelming evidence on tape for them to reverse this call.
Well, at least this play is being reviewed in its proper sequence, unlike the previous one a moment ago.
They're doing this one by the book.
Yes. And what about that Husky defense, boy, Robert? They have already accounted for the interception, which set up the touchdown, and potentially here 2 more points.
You know, they heard all the talk all week saying, hey, they might not have the greatest athletes, but they got good football players. And they're coming out today, and they're trying to punish these Ducks.
He's out right there, it looks.
To me, it looks like he's out. But I'm not the one under the hood.
After review, the ruling of a safety stands.
Told you.
Which means it was inconclusive. Not convincing enough to overturn the call on the field. And they'll have to kick it away as well. So the Huskies will lead 9-3 and get the football back. An inauspicious beginning for Coach Cristobal and the Ducks here.
Oh, yeah. And if you're the Ducks, right, you come to Husky Stadium, you don't want to hear that air raid siren, right? You heard it right there. They scored on the safety, and it was blasting, and this whole stadium just came alive. Man, you got to love rivalry week.
7:01 to go. What'd you make of that call, Robert?
The offensive play call in the end zone? You know, it's tough, right?
It's usually a safe one, isn't it?
Yeah, Oregon's a spread offense, right? They go out there, they hand the ball off, trying to just get out of the end zone, out of the shadow of their own end zone.
Right.
And right there, you just have to be more physical up front, and you can't allow penetration. They allowed the penetration, which is what had Travis Dye getting hit in the backfield.
Well, Oregon was supposed to get, and does have, Alex Forsythe back today at center. He'd been missing previously. But either way, it's a 6-point lead for the Huskies. They're going to get the football here. Giles Jackson back deep for this kick. But he won't get a chance. It comes up way short at the 35. Now up to the 45. That's Sean McGrew. And it'll be good starting field position for the Huskies here. Our Week 9 Monday Night Football matchup has Justin Fields of the Bears in Pittsburgh taking on Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. On ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. Our coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Dylan Morris at quarterback. First down and 10. Sean McGrew in the backfield. We're up by 6 points on those paltry offensive numbers so far.
Hey, all that matters is that they're up, right?
Yep. McGrew gets about 3 over the left side of that offensive line. Jeffrey Bassa making the stop on the play. Washington coming off that big win last week against Stanford. It's been a very uneven season in the big picture for them. They lost their first 2 games against Montana and then Michigan, and then bounced back and won their next 2. Subsequently lost their next 2, and now in the middle of a 2-game winning streak. Morris hands it off again. McGrew again. Going to set up a 3rd down at about 3. Bassa making the tackle again. Picked up 4 as we look at the Pac-12 standings. Remember, a win for Washington, and they're still in this race.
Yeah, and you talk about just the up and down of their season, and the guy who's taking the brunt of all of it is Dylan Morris. The fans have been clamoring for his backup, Sam Heward, to come into the game. The pundits have been clamoring for him to be benched, and his coach has stood by him every step of the way. And that comeback win against Stanford last week was big for his confidence and this team.
3rd and 3. McGrew going to be stopped up short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and about 2. Kayvon Thibodeau, we plan on calling number 5's name quite a bit this afternoon. You're looking at, folks, into the eyes, into the helmet of maybe the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. A very dynamic, imperious linebacker. 4th down and 1.
And Thibodeau's not just a pass rusher, right? We talked to his coach, his defensive coordinator, Tim DeRuyter, and he said he loves playing the run just as much as he loves getting after the quarterback in passing situations, as you saw right there.
Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year a couple of seasons ago, MVP of the Pac-12 title game last season. This punt will be downed at the 1-man. Washington special teams has been on fire here early in the football game.
Oh, my Lord.
Race Porter, who didn't start punting until his senior year of high school, he actually went out to become a receiver, and they were told that they needed a punter, so he put his hand up and said, "I'm the best man for the job," and he proved it right there.
Oh, he is definitely proving it. 2? I mean, 2 punts inside the 1 or 2 yard line?
Hey, he's ready to knock somebody out with those gloves too, Robert.
Oh, he said he's got the golden gloves? What is he, Muhammad Ali?
Well, this time they're 98 yards away, the Oregon Ducks are. Previously, they were 99. See if they can get out of the end zone without giving up a safety here like they did on the previous sequence. Brown hands it off. It's going to be Travis Dye, and the rains come a little bit stronger here once again in Seattle.
I'm sure it's just a dry rain. You know?
Oh, yeah. That don't work with water. It's not like a dry heat. Hey, Quinn, you tell us after this play. Could be a little bit of an impact down on the field, though. 2nd and 5. Brown keeps it into the boundary, nowhere to go. Made a great cut north-south and picked up about 3. ZTF with the stop. Quinn?
45 degrees and a nice rain. Nothing like it, boys. Nothing like it. Wind's coming off the lake. That's right to left across the screen. And it's been a factor that's really helped Washington in the special teams game here in this first quarter. On and off rain the rest of the evening, Mark.
Must be summer in Seattle. 3rd and 2 for the Ducks.
Yeah, when you talk about this rain and who does it favor, it should favor Oregon. They're the better running team, but right now, in this environment, they don't seem to be clicking on any cylinders.
And they pick up the first down. That's Travis Dye straight ahead. Carson Bruner made the tackle on the play. Dye leading rusher and receiver, as we mentioned, for this Oregon team. Competitive, versatile, in the words of his coaches. Set an NCAA record earlier this season against UCLA. He became the first player in FBS to rush for a touchdown on 4 consecutive carries. Key cog offensively for the Ducks. Brown all day to throw it. Now he's going to take off, pushed out of bounds near the 20. They're going to spot it just past the 19-yard line. Sets up 2nd down, a gain of about 5 on the play.
That was solid coverage right there on the back end by the Huskies, forcing Anthony Brown to hold the ball, and just a good job by him of getting what you can. Don't force anything. He needs to get some completions here so that he can get his confidence back throwing the ball after that interception.
2nd and 5 coming up. Travis Dye in the backfield. Pittman in motion. And a little movement on the offensive line. That's going to go against the Ducks.
False start. Number 70 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Hey, Michigan State lost a little bit earlier. Oregon trailing, albeit early. How interested do you think Cincinnati is in this game here?
Oh, they're very interested, right? We saw the rankings. We all know that they really don't have that much of a chance unless some dominoes fall in front of them. This would be one of those big dominoes. But listen, if you're Oregon, just focus on what you can control, and that's executing each and every play in this game.
Brown's going to pass, sets up the screen, incomplete. Dye wasn't ready for it. And the Ducks, the only team from the Pac-12 in the college football playoff rankings.
Look at that.
Just one.
You might as well call it the SEC college football playoff. They got 7 teams in there.
3rd and 10. Incomplete. 4th and 10. They'll punt. For all that traffic that Brown was directing, none of it headed in the right direction. Good pressure by Carson Bruner. It was right in his grill.
Yeah, Carson Bruner, man, made the quarterback throw the ball before he really wanted to. You saw a little frustration there from number 26, Travis Dye, because he wasn't out of his break yet, and when he looked back, he noticed the ball was already past him. When he looked back to Anthony Brown, he just said, look, man, it's okay. I was getting hit. I had to get the ball out.
Tom Snee with his first punt in 2 games. He didn't punt at all last week against Colorado, so he's got to dust off his equipment. Still clean jersey. Of course, punters don't get hit much. You know, this season, along with their contributions to universities' general scholarship funds for every field goal and extra point made, Allstate will also be donating to the American Red Cross to help with disaster relief efforts. Thank you, Allstate. Robert, I always like to say the best nation in the world is a donation.
Oh, I love that.
Hey, can we back up a little bit? Did Quint run a little purple? Was that a little Jimi Hendrix he ran by us earlier?
Oh, no.
Was that it? I think it was.
Robert's a little too young to remember Jimmy.
He doesn't know. Yeah, he doesn't know anything about that.
Hey, don't age yourself, fellas.
One of the legends out of Seattle in the Northwest. This is Cameron Davis getting his first carry of the football game. Picked up a little more than a yard. Thibodeau and Sewell making the stop on the play. Under 2 minutes to go here in the opening quarter.
You know, last week, Oregon, as you said, punter didn't even need a punt, right? They were just clicking on all cylinders on offense, moving the ball down the field. But this week, it's going to be on their defense right now early to keep them in this game until they can figure it out of how to move the ball down the field on offense.
Empty formation for the Huskies. Morris surveying. Over the middle, complete to his tight end, Devin Culp. Brought down by Sewell, picked up 4 on the play. So 3rd down coming up with a minute to go in the first quarter.
Oh, yeah, and you see Noah Sewell there on the tackle. And his defensive coordinator, Tim DeRuyter, said he is the most dynamic inside backer he's ever seen. And we all know those Sewells. They got a lot of them out there. They're playing a lot of good football.
One brother in the NFL, 2 other brothers playing collegiately. 3rd down and 3. Pass batted down at the line of scrimmage by Sewell, just as we called his name. Got those hands up in the air and forces a 4th down for the Huskies.
Mama, there goes that man.
Yep.
Noah Sewell knocking the ball down. Big play, right? Every play is a big play, right? We said every game is a playoff game, but when in November and December, it's those plays right there that can change the tide of a football game.
He plays with a certain type of impulse, which is beneficial for the defense. He's one of those guys that's not ready, aim, fire. He goes ready, fire, aim. Race Porter has done a great job on special teams. Angles for the sideline. It's caught at the 8-yard line by Pittman. And great coverage downfield by the Huskies. They're going to pin Oregon at about the 17-yard line. So the last couple of drives have started at the 1, the 2, and now the 17 for the Huskies. The field position game starting to factor in a little bit early, Robert.
Oh, yeah. Race Porter is the MVP of the first quarter.
Okay.
All right. Every time he goes out there, he's like, oops, I did it again. He's just pinning them further and further back. And right here, they get the ball a little further out. But if you're Oregon, you gotta get something going to give your sideline some energy, right? We talk about these hype men in college football. They got no energy on their sideline right now, and their offense has to be that spark.
Guy in the backfield, Brown on the RPO. Wow, they're really making themselves work for the simplest of completions. It was intended for Spencer Webb. Hit him in the hands, and he juggled it.
Man, you don't always get to say this about offenses, but right now, they just look like they look like a man out there trying to change a diaper. Look confused, don't know which way to put it on. It's on backwards. Now look,
hey, I got 3 babies, man.
Look,
I got good at it.
We've had our fair share of diaper changes, but they're just not on the same page right now.
Brown, incomplete, nobody even close, and this offense is a little bit disconcerted right now.
Play is legal. The quarterback was not under duress. 3rd down.
So no grounding. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for Coach Cristobal's offense.
If you followed this offense at all this year, you know they throw a lot of screens. But guess what? Bob Gregory and the Huskies also know that, and they had the right answer right there by attacking that screen before it ever got started.
He's 2 of 9, Brown is, for 10 yards. Fires again, his 3rd completion. It's going to be short of the 1st down. That's Dye, his security blanket. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter play. Cook with the tackle. In this rivalry game, the 113th edition of this rivalry. It's been the real symbol of what it's gone like for the Ducks. Tell you what, some guys got a nice 60-inch flat screen TV watching the game as they sailgate on Lake Washington just outside Husky Stadium. Good pressure on the punter, Tom Snee, but he gets it off. You know, little controversy was stirred up earlier this week when Coach Jimmy Lake of the Huskies was asked about the importance of this game in terms of recruiting, and this was his answer. He said the schools we go against are way more, well, have academic prowess. Washington, Notre Dame, USC, Stanford. We go a lot of battles toe-to-toe all the way to the end with those schools, and that rubbed a lot of the people at Oregon the wrong way. They bristled at that sentiment. And you heard the interview with Quint and Coach Lake prior to the game tonight. Gave a little bit more context to what the point was he was trying to get across.
That's an easy misunderstanding, right? Easy misunderstanding on a rivalry league.
Little receiver screen complete to McMillan. And that's going to be a 1st down at the 48. 12-yard gain on the play.
You know, no pun intended, but Washington is out here trying to teach these Ducks a lesson.
Okay.
But anything you say in a rivalry week, they're just searching every ounce of the internet they can find to find some bulletin board material to motivate them a little bit more. And Jimmy Lake gave it to them this week.
That was the first down for the Huskies offense. Nice cut by Cameron Davis and a good gain. We're going to see a lot of 11, a lot of 12, 13 personnel a lot of times with the Huskies, right, Robert?
Yes, they're going to switch it up. They want to make this defense think, also no pun intended.
Right.
They want them to stay off balanced. They're going to change personnel, change tempos, as you see right here. Hurry up, get to the line, make them think that, oh, they're going to run the play and don't run it. That is their best way, because this front of Oregon's has some beast on it, right? These Ducks are loaded.
2nd and 4, little play action. Taking a shot up top into traffic and picked off. Jordan Happel made the interception right there on the sidelines. And that's a tough catch for him when you take a look at the way his hands are taped up because of an injury.
Listen, man, he's got a club on his hand. Jordan Happel said, I don't need 2. I just need 1 in a club. Wow. What a play. Dylan Morris just threw that into triple coverage. He's trying to force it somewhere it doesn't need to be. Jordan Happel Clubby himself makes the play. Maybe these Ducks can get in a roll.
First and 10 for Oregon from their own 24-yard line. Cardwell on the carry, had a breakout week last week against Colorado, picks up 3. One more look at that interception a moment ago.
And you see right here, Kayvon Thibodeau's not just a game wrecker in the pass rushing, he's also making the quarterback lift the throw. And then there's Jordan Happle with the club on his hand. He said, yeah, I got a club and I got a pick. Look at this. They're holding up the club. This guy can't even tie his own shoes. He can't go to the bathroom by himself. But guess what? Dylan Morris gave him an interception, baby.
2nd and 7. There's a whole lot of things you can't do with your hand taped up like that.
Yeah.
Some things you can do.
There are some things you can, and apparently he can pick off passes. But listen, Dylan Morris right there, just a bad decision. He had his check down was wide open, and it's decisions like that are why he leads the Pac-12 in interceptions now with 9.
3rd and 5. Not even close. The number 1 defense has quarterback Anthony Brown puzzled right now. Discombobulated and disconcerted. And it's 4th down coming up. In comes the punter again, Tom Snee, who having his 3rd punt here in a moment. He didn't punt at all last week.
I was going to say, he's already asking for overtime pay.
He's not used to all this action.
He's not used to all this action, man. But this Oregon offense just out of sync. They got to find a way to get Anthony Brown in sync, seeing the field, running the ball, and just more comfortable out there.
Giles Jackson back for this punt. Has a chance to return it. Found a seam up the middle. And Jackson with a nice return out near midfield at about the 49-yard line. Giles Jackson gives the Huskies good starting field position on this drive. Let's see how Dylan Morris recovers from that pick a moment ago on the other side of this.
Saturday Night Football, presented by Capital One on ABC, is brought to you by Burger King. New Ghost Pepper Chicken Nuggets, just $1.49. Don't fear the heat.
A synthetic bubblegum invented here at the University of Washington, and they stick it on the wall. Okay, vinyl, you saw vinyl, also invented. Rubber, also invented. And the tube that allowed to watch television in color were all invented at or by folks from the University of Washington. I know there's a lot of people that don't remember what those things are.
Yeah, what is that?
I'm going to be 60 in a couple of weeks, okay? That's a record. Oh. You put that thing on 45,
okay, and
you let that thing spin, and that's when the magic happens, okay, Robert Griffin III.
You gotta put the needle in the right spot.
Exactly, exactly.
Y'all used way too many needles back in the day.
Not 33. Not 33. Got to be to the right speed. It's not 33 and it's not 78.
Okay.
They used to have a 78 speed.
False start. Number 83, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Now, I'll tell you what, if your records got too hot, they get warped like that one we saw in the picture. And right now, Oregon's offense a little bit warped.
A little warped, right?
Yeah,
It was a little
it's like
off.
a bad record right now. Early.
It's early in the game, but it has been like a bad record. And it's just about consistency, right? They're not running the ball very effective, and that's what they normally do. And then in the passing game, they're not being high percentage like they want to be.
To get it out quickly, does Morris. A nice completion to Terrell Bynum. Bynum has been a real calming force amongst that receiving core, and we have an Oregon player getting up a little bit slowly. That's Mikhail Wright. He's one of the best corners in the Pac-12 conference.
Yeah, and certainly one of the...
He's going to come out here. He's shaken up.
I was going to say, certainly the best on their team. And
right.
Coach said he plays bigger than he is, so hopefully he's okay and get back out there.
Dante Manning, number 8, comes in for him after that 9-yard gain. Huskies line up out of the eye. That's Sean McGrew. I said earlier, Huskies, they will try and keep it on the ground and pound away a lot with a lot of tight ends, Robert. And hey, not often we see I formation football anymore on offense, right?
No, you don't. It's a throwback offense, right? It's they're going to use formations and different personnels, a lot of tight ends, and right now they're comfortable. They're up by 6, right? They've had not many first downs. They're not doing really good on third down, 0 for 3, and they're still winning. They're okay. They're not going to change unless the game changes. So for them, just keep doing what you're doing, but try to get some plays, some big plays out.
36. Bullet pass complete to Taj Davis and a first down. They move the chains. He was working against Happel, who had the interception a moment ago.
And look at that, Johnny on the spot. We talk about they haven't had any big plays, no third down conversions. Dylan Morris throws a rocket in there to Taj Davis, and look at the emotion. Gets up, first down, baby, let's go.
Davis with a nice run after the catch. Morris, a guy that takes charge of the offense, knows the offense, runs the show, has great dominion over the offense. From the 32, sets up the screen. It's complete to Cade Otton, one of the top tight ends in the country, but nowhere to go this time. He was one of your key players in RG3's keys.
Yes, he was, and Cade Otton, he's a great combo tight end. He can block, he can catch, he can stretch the field. And John Donovan, the offensive coordinator, we said, listen, you got to get this guy the ball more. And he says, we got some things for him. And right there, Oregon's defense sniffed out that screen, but it's a good way to get him involved and make him feel like he's part of the game. Obviously, he would like more yards.
Yeah, 2nd and 10. From the 38. Little receiver screen complete. McMillan trying to make something happen, but brought down by Jamal Hill. Almost appeared like he ran into his own blocker out there on the perimeter. Yeah. No gain on the play, so it sets up 3rd down and 11.
He definitely ran into Taj Davis, it looks like, up there. Almost had a butt fumble moment there, fellas. But yes, what I'm noticing about the Huskies is they're giving Dylan Morris easy completions. Whether they're going for a lot of yards or not, he's feeling like he's getting in rhythm. So when he has to make those throws on 3rd down, he can.
He's 8 for 11, 49 yards. Got to get to the 22 to get the first down. Morris complete. McMillan, the best man for the job, lunging, lost it, but he was down first. Let's see where they spot it. It's going to be a critical spot. It looks like he's a little bit short. According to that projected line, DJ James there trying to make the tackle.
Here it is. Oh, Clubman comes in, makes the tackle on Jalen McMillan.
Interesting call coming up, 4th and short.
Oh, they look like they're going to give him the first down.
On the field is a first down.
There it is. Look at that. Now, for all those people out there who say,
is under further review.
and they're gonna review it.
Is that the runner made the line to gain?
Remember, that line that you see on the screen is not exact. It's an approximation.
But you see here, right? He's fighting through for the extra yards. Knee goes down. He's short.
Yeah.
Man, they're gonna move that back.
We think.
We think.
Nothing's for certain. That's why we play the game and review the calls. Back after this.
After review, the runner was short of the line to gain. The ball will be placed at the 23-yard line. 4th down.
So there's the call. McMillan was short on that catch and run, so an interesting 4th down. They're going to keep the quarterback on the field. Dylan Morris joined by McGrew in the backfield.
Hey, they want to win.
He empties out. They fake the jet sweep. Nowhere to go! Great penetration up front. The Ducks, led by Jeffrey Bassa, stop them on 4th down. And Oregon takes over. So the first pivotal point of this football game goes in favor of Oregon.
Oregon's defense is stepping up while their offense is trying to figure it out. Jeffrey Bassa, he just reads the offensive lineman, gets through and delivers. It's the pain right there on McGrew. Wow. This is incredible, man. bona fide rivalry game football. And Oregon's defense has showed up today. And thus far, early in the first half, they're the only reason this game is so close.
9-3, first down. Ducks coming back the other way from the 24. Travis Dye in the backfield beside quarterback Anthony Brown, who's had an uneven beginning to this football game, even though he hasn't gotten a lot of help. Got some here from one of his friends. That's Jalen Red with the first down, and Oregon up at the line of scrimmage going quickly.
Nice. They do a little stack, and they get a wide open seam, and Anthony Brown delivers it right on time. You love to see that from him after the struggles he's had earlier in this game.
Number 46. Got a trips formation to the top of the screen. Brown, the transfer from Boston College. Throws it late on the RPO, incomplete. Intended for Matavao. It'll be second down and 10. We were talking about Brown, and it's another guy. It's quarterback Robert, you know better than anybody. A lot of criticism under the spotlight. He said the tipping point so far this season was 2 weeks after the Stanford loss. He spoke to his dad, had a heart-to-heart with his father, and also one of his skills coaches, Quincy Avery, and they helped him shut out all the outside noise and the criticism. Here's Dye on the run. Nice cutback, and picked up the first down.
Travis Dye with the best run of the day for the Oregon Ducks. Slicing and dicing, right? He comes across on the zone read, follows his offensive lineman, makes a cut, gets the vision, continues to go vertical. I've been watching him closely for the past couple series, and his energy level is through the roof. He really wants to help his team win today.
Motions out of the backfield. Brown hits him on the pass at the 45. Got a blocker out there. Dye puts his hat down, makes it inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Dye has a brother, Tony, played safety at UCLA. Troy, a brother, played at Oregon as well, a linebacker.
And it's guys like Travis Dye who are the lifeblood of your team. You know, it's that energy. When you go on the road, you need that guy who's the emotional, vocal leader. Yeah, he wears his emotions on his sleeve, but you need that in this type of game.
This is Cardwell, the freshman, and he's going to be stopped up at about the 35 by Jackson Sermon. Sermon had that interception against Stanford last week for the Huskies. Under 6.5 to go in the first half. Third down and 4 for Oregon. The nose of the ball sitting at the 35.
Yet another big third down. 3rd and 4 here for the Ducks. Travis Dye is not on the field, and he's normally their third down guy, so let's see who they try to work.
Tevin Williams is a receiver that's been surging lately. They're going to run it. Stopped up at the 32-yard line is Cardwell. Short, it appears, of the first down by about a yard. He picked up 3. What do you think here, Robert? Do you take a shot?
Well, one, I think the spot might have been bad there. Byron Cardwell wasn't down at the spot that they marked him. But if it's me and I'm the offensive coordinator, 100% I'm going for it right here. And I'm putting the ball in the hands of my quarterback. I don't care how, iffy he's played all day. Use your legs.
The rule on the field is that the runner was short of the first down. Previous play is under further review.
Well, we got another review. But like I was saying in that explanation, I do think that Byron Cardwell was not down when they marked him. If you see here, he takes the rock, makes a cut to the right, gets vertical, and boom, runs into a brick wall. But guess what? He keeps his feet going. He puts his hand down, but his knee never goes down, his wrist never goes down, and right there it looks like he has a first down.
That yellow line, remember, is just an approximation, but
that's a first
that looks
down.
like he got the first down.
Yeah.
His knee hadn't touched, neither had his forearm.
Yes. If the forearm goes down, you're down. If the knee goes down, you're down. You can put your hand down to keep your balance, and he did a nice job there. You know, for a freshman, he's playing like a wily vet. Keeping your legs moving. That's a key component as a running back. At contact, do not stop your feet.
Byron Cardwell had a big 34-yard touchdown run last week in that win against Colorado. He's not down at that point, Robert.
Right. Oh, right here. You see his hand down, but there's his knee. And his knee is not down, right? His knee is not down on the ground until that moment right there. And based off where the chains are, it looks like it should be a first down.
Well, we have yet another review here in the first half. With 5:28 to go in this rivalry, Oregon has won the last 2 in a row and 14 of the last 16. The Ducks, of course, number 4 in the college football playoff rankings. Michigan State already losing today. Cincinnati winning. And kick off your Week 9 NFL Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 Pacific, with Countdown Crew and ESPN and the app. Randy Moss weighs in on the Odell Beckham Jr. situation, plus the inside story of how Phil Collins' song "In the Air Tonight" remains a pregame anthem for the NFL's biggest stars. And like every Sunday, get all the early breaking stories, updates.
After review, the runner made the line to gain. The ball will be placed at the 31-yard line. First down.
And speaking of that Phil Collins, I can feel something special in the air tonight, Robert Griffin.
Yeah, we can definitely feel something special.
In the driving rain and in the night here in Seattle.
Yeah, I was going to say, with all these reviews, it seems like these refs like watching as much film as I do.
Wow. They are running it back a few times. Travis Dye in the backfield, 1st and 10, under 5.5 to go in the first half. Brown on the RPO. Throws it, got a win, wide open! Touchdown Ducks! Williams with the catch.
There it is right there. That could be the play that gets Anthony Brown in a rhythm. He runs out, uses his feet, and he finds his favorite target, Devin Williams, their leading receiver from last year, in the end zone, wide open. What got him there? It's Anthony Brown's feet, being able to stretch the pocket, and he delivers a dime right on time.
Devin Williams, arguably the team's most talented receiver, with a big-time catch there. Found himself open in the end zone. And Oregon with a chance to take the lead here with the extra point. Williams, the USC transfer.
And here it is. Here it is. Anthony Brown. He takes a shot down the field. No chaser, baby. I can feel it in the air tonight.
No sleeping in November. Here's the kick. Giles Jackson on the return for the Huskies. Trying to get to the edge. Turns it upfield. Jackson with a spirited return out to the 32-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there. What was the key on this last play, Robert?
Oh, yeah. We just got Anthony Brown stretching the field here, and we got the wide receiver running just a little bit of a double move at the top. So when you can stretch the field as the quarterback, it draws everybody to you. And it's this guy right here. He's got his eyes in the backfield. He sees Anthony Brown, and he lets Devin Williams go and get right behind him. And when you talk about that, just look at his eyes. He goes 1, 2. Oh, no, I got my guy wide open. And he just delivers a dime. No indecision, decisive. Great play there by Anthony Brown.
1st and 10 for the Huskies. On the stretch play, nice seam on the right side. Sean McGrew with a nice carry for Washington, picks up 6. Under 5 minutes to go here in the first half. 2nd and 4 coming up. Verone McKinley, the leader of the defense for the Ducks, making the tackle on the play. Here's a look at Verone. We had a great meeting with him yesterday. One of the leaders of that defense, one of the team leaders overall. They call him the General.
General's fried chicken.
Cade Otton in motion. They run it between the tackles again. And a good burst of speed. And Boy, Sean McGrew, a diminutive but dynamic 5'7", 180 pounds, playing a lot bigger there, Robert Griffin.
Oh, yeah, he's playing a whole lot bigger than 5'7".
Look at the size of him compared to his teammates.
Yeah, look, you can just see it in his eyes. He said, go through, running. He's not afraid to run between the tackles. He just keeps his feet going. And this, listen, his coach said nothing is too big for him. And you can see it. He's 5'7", 180, and he's out here chugging away.
Can get another opportunity, this time stopped up near the line of scrimmage by Noah Sewell. Man, he has been everywhere so far this afternoon. Not so much Kayvon Thibodeau, although he's been around the ball a few times. We haven't called his name in terms of tackles as much today. That might just mean that they're scheming him a little bit, right?
I think they are. They're scheming him, right? He helped lift the interception that Clubby caught there at the back end, Mr. Happel. But they're making sure they get the ball out fast in passing situations so that he doesn't have to become a factor.
Backs lining up out of the eye this time. Little receiver screen, pass complete. Out to the edge, that's Odunze. DJ James making the tackle. Both these squads used to playing very competitive and close games that come right down to the final second. Oregon 4-1 in such contests. Washington 3-3.
So they say don't blink. Don't blink for a second. Both of these teams have played in close games, and one of them definitely wants to open this one up, you would think, right?
See what Morris does here on 3rd and long. Blitz coming. Steps up, ball tipped. Almost caught and almost intercepted by Thibodeau. It was tipped up front by Sewell. Calling his name again. That's the second time that he's tipped the ball and a pass from Dylan Morris.
Normally we say tip balls get picked, and Noah Sewell does a great job there just getting his hands up. The second time this game that he's done that, Dylan Morris is trying to drop one over. He didn't even get his hands up. He really used his head right there, hit him in the head, and his receiver hits him in the head. We got a double doink going on out there.
Okay. Got a special line on the stat sheet for that, I think. There's Porter, who's done a fantastic job. He's one of the big stories of the first half here for the Huskies. Their punter, and this one might go inside the 10. They're going to spot it at about the 13-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Ducks right there. Now for today's Aflac trivia question. Travis Dye is one of 3 FBS players to lead his team in rush yards and receptions. Who are the other 2?
Okay.
I got last week's question.
You did.
I'm on scholarship this week. I'm out.
You did get last week's question. That is very true. I had to rock with you because I know you know your Miami stuff, man.
Yeah, that was easy. Hey, it was University of Washington, I think, that ended that winning streak. 2:21 to go. Travis Dye in the backfield, 1st and 10. Dye gets the call, picks up about 3. Cooper McDonald making the tackle on the play. Mario Cristobal's team focused on the short term. 1-0 is what they want to go every week. No mention of the college football playoff and the number 4 ranking. No mention of Pac-12 championship games or titles. Just Washington, 24/7. Second down and 8 coming up. Well, if you're just joining us, here's a look at our scoring drive. From a moment ago, the Washington Huskies defense couldn't slow down the Ducks. Anthony Brown got into a little bit of a rhythm, sprayed it out all over the place. Hit Travis Dye a bunch of times, and then this one into the end zone to Devin Williams, who really looks the part when you talk about tall, lanky, angular, speedy receiver. 6'5", 207 pounds from Lancaster, California.
Yeah, on that last drive, the Ducks offense finally looked like what we thought we would see for the majority of this game. Hopefully, maybe they can continue that.
Dye motions out of the backfield. Brown going to keep it himself. And Brown's going to end up with about 3 yards on the play. Let's go back to Aflac for a little bit. And the answer for today's Aflac trivia question. Travis Dye, one of 3 FBS players to lead his team in rush yards and receptions. Who are the other 2?
Honestly, I have no clue.
Yeah,
so I'm going to go
I'm
B.
out.
John Robinson. Nope, there it is. Tyler Batty from Missouri.
Batty and Deuce
Vaughn of Kansas State. Yeah, I had no chance.
Nope.
I had no chance.
They went deep on that one.
I thought B. John Robinson maybe at Texas, you know, dynamic running back. A lot think he's one of the best offensive players in the country, but sometimes those stats just come out of left field. Thanks, guys.
Hey, you know, we were talking about Anthony Brown, the quarterback for Oregon, a little bit ago, and he's a guy that has been through a lot of scrutiny and heard some boos even at home in Eugene at times. And he talked about the conversations with us that he had with his dad and Quincy Avery, one of his coaches, that helped him stay in his happy place and shut out all the noise and just really settle him down. And that has led to a lot of his improved play over the last 3 weeks. Keeps it on the RPO, and he's going to pick up the first down on 3rd down and 5. A big music guy. I like to ask quarterbacks, when you hit play on your playlist, what song comes out? And he told me, are you ready, folks? New Edition. So every little step he takes is going to be in the right direction, right?
Exactly. And guess what? He's trying to come out here and prove that he can stay in the rain.
Oh, there you go. That's the one right there. That's the one right there. And he's got a lot of rain here in Seattle. And under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Timeout on the field. And they're going to review another call here.
I guess the only thing they can review there is whether it was a first down or not. I think Anthony Brown at 6'3", 226, had just enough to get that first down. But let's check it out. This line that you see on the field is an approximation, but boom. Oh, I think we need to zoom in and look at his knee, because I think his knee might have been down just before he crossed that approximation line that we have on the camera.
Quint, what do you think? Going to try and reach Quint downstairs.
I was going to say, maybe Quint's
he's getting rained out.
He's getting rained out.
Technical issues.
He's looking at the review as well.
His mic might be having some issues, we're told, because of the amount of rainfall we've had here since opening kickoff and previous to that.
Apparently his mic can't stand the rain, huh?
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
One more look at it.
Yeah, man, look. I don't even know if that was worth a review.
Yeah. Hey, let's say this about Anthony Brown, though. He's accounted for the game-winning touchdown or the game-sealing touchdown in 4 of Oregon's 7 wins. Got some of that clutch gene.
As he goes, they go.
1st and 10. 3 receivers out to the top of the screen. They run it into the boundary with Dye. Travis Dye tackled by Jackson Sermon. 2nd down coming up with 1:28 to go. Washington trying to snap that 2-game losing streak against the Ducks. They've lost 14 of the last 16 against Oregon. Oregon, Washington, Stanford have really had a firm grip on the Pac-12 North over the last several years. Second and 7. Brown hands it off. Good burst up the middle, right into the official. Travis Dye lost it. He put it on the ground, but Oregon recovers it. It's Jalen Redd pouncing on that loose ball, and a 17-yard gain on the play with under a minute to go. The clock still running.
And it's Dominique Hampton that goes in there and knocks that ball out, but Travis Dye's running hard, so hard the referee got caught in the mix.
How about that?
Ruling on the field is that the runner made the first down mark. Previous play is under further review.
Oh, boy. Are we going to review another one?
Just so you know.
Pardon?
It will
Wow, we're going to have another video review. With 43 seconds to go, numerous reviews tonight.
I don't think they're reviewing the first down. I think they're trying to review a personal foul on Travis Dye for hitting the referee on that run right there.
They lost the ball.
Lost the ball.
Or maybe are they?
Is it targeting maybe?
Or whether he was down when the ball came loose. Probably see if it was a fumble or not, whether he was down before the ball squirted out.
Okay, let's look at his knees here.
It appeared to come out before.
Yeah, he's not down. Ball's there. Ball's out.
Yeah.
Ball's out right there before his knee or his butt gets down to the ground.
Yeah, Jalen Redd was there to pounce on the loose ball for the Ducks. Here's the call.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
Come on, man. You know y'all weren't looking at the first down.
Okay, let's keep it moving here with 43 seconds to go. But, you know, of course, in the rain, you wonder how much of a factor the wet football becomes and being able to hang on to it. You saw it squirt loose.
Timeout, Oregon.
And now we got another timeout called by Oregon. That's their first one of the half. They've got 2 remaining. The Huskies with 1 left. It's 10-9 with 43 seconds to go.
It's really coming down out there right now, isn't it?
Boy, look at that rain. Good time to look back at our Black History Always element. Hamilton Green, law student from Seattle, Washington's first ever black football player at the school, played in the first game at then Washington Field, now the stadium here, member of the 1924 Rose Bowl team. A real big builder of the program to where it is today. This is Cardwell on the carry for the Ducks. And of course, when you talk about University of Washington football, such great history, that was 100 years ago. More recently, of course, my favorite Washington moment is the Rose Bowl championship won by Warren Moon back in the day. He was the MVP of that game. Brown going to keep it and got rocked after a gain of about 2. Taimani making the stop.
When you talk about Hamilton Green and Warren Moon, just both guys in my eyes, and I know in yours,
timeout, Oregon.
That are real pioneers for the sport. You know, Warren Moon's a guy that gave me an opportunity to play the game at a high level, and obviously Hamilton Green going out there and being a pioneer and being the first black player for the Huskies helped guys like myself and yourself get into college and really get to enjoy that experience. I can only imagine what he went through way back then that we don't have to deal with today.
Yeah, Hamilton Green played on this site back in 1921, the first year of this stadium. He was a law student, was with the team when they played the 1924 Rose Bowl. But I did a lot of searching on Google. There's not much about him. And that was a time when Jack Trice was playing at Iowa State, and most of the black players were out west or in the upper Midwest before that trend moved east and then south.
Yeah. It was much harder for them to play in the South at the time. They hadn't been recruiting a lot of African-American players. This is Oregon running the ball between the tackles on 3rd and 7. Byron Cardwell. Cardwell, the freshman from San Diego, California.
Now, Washington. Game clock operator, please reset the clock to 8 seconds. 8 seconds. It's a 30-second timeout.
I feel like we're playing this game on Zoom.
I was going to say, this has to be the longest 43 seconds to end a half in the history of halves. They're taking timeouts. They're doing reviews. Man.
8 seconds to go, and Washington out of the timeouts. Oregon with 1 timeout remaining.
It's almost as if both coaches are trying to see how wet each team can get by just continuing to take timeouts and timeouts and timeouts as the rain just keeps coming down here in the stadium.
Oregon quickly up to the line of scrimmage, ready for this punt. Tom Snee going to punt it away to Giles Jackson.
Washington's not wearing number 84.
Fair catch called, and it's going to bounce out of bounds right around the 15-yard line with 1 second to go.
Oh, not so fast, right? Still 1 second left in the half. You want to say this is football weather, right? But not really.
Okay.
Not with this
It's
rain
just really
and the
wet.
cold. It's just really wet, really cold, and hopefully these teams can warm up and they get in there at halftime and come back out and put on a show in the second half.
Dylan Morris, quarterback still. Who benefits most from these inclement conditions, or does it favor anyone at all, Robert?
I think it favors Oregon, but it's a double-edged sword, right? Oregon is the better running team of the football, higher ranked in the Pac-12, but at the same time, the rain and the cold can keep the game close, which then always makes Washington dangerous.
Morris is going to take a knee here and take a 1-point deficit into the locker room.
That's the end of the first half.
The 113th edition and chapter of this border rivalry between Oregon and Washington. The eyes tonight telling the story. The rivalry continues. Got to get a hand up and everything. Back after this. This is Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One. Under the lights and in the rain, folks, you're watching the Pac-12 on ESPN. Oregon against Washington in the 113th edition of this rivalry. Oregon leading 10-9 in a low-scoring game, but when you factor in the rivalry, you factor in the inclement weather, some of the emotion down on the field tonight, it all adds up to a low-scoring first half. Let's take a look at the first half statistics. Anthony Brown with a pick on his first drive that led to that first Washington score, but regained his composure a little bit later, throwing a touchdown toss to Devin Williams for the go-ahead score. It's 10-9. That's where we stand right now. Washington, remember last week, in a low-scoring game against Stanford, they kicked 4 field goals in that first half. Weren't able to amass much offense, but tonight pretty much the same story for head coach Jimmy Lake in his second season. Former player at Eastern Washington, defensive coordinator here at Washington under former head coach Chris Peterson.
I mean, he's
Got the playbook all covered up dry.
Exactly.
Huh?
He's got the playbook in the towel. And you talk about a low-scoring game last week against Stanford. They were at Stanford,
right,
and they won that game. And that's the first time they have won at Stanford since 2007. So they're breaking down barriers. And today, there's a lot of beef out there on that field, right? It's a rivalry game. These teams don't like each other. They didn't get to play last year, right? And they've had a lot of close games. So this is familiar territory.
Right. 10-9. They got Oregon right where they want them right now. They're going to have the football to start this third quarter. Back for the kick, it's Giles Jackson. Jackson might have a shot here. He's going to watch it go through the back of the end zone. It'll be first down and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Well, usually we do Robert's top 3 plays. These are the not top 3. The safety was the first.
We had the safety to start the game out. You hand the ball off, just get it out of the end zone. What are you doing? And then we had Anthony Brown, who threw it to Carson Bruner like he didn't see him, because he didn't. Interception, but he saved the pick six, okay? And then right here, for the third one, we're talking about how in the world do you throw an interception to a man who's got one hand? They call him Clubby. Mr. Happel out there making plays. He can't even tie his shoes, but yet he's making interceptions on Dylan Morris. Come on, man. You can't be doing that.
He needs a little bit of help with that right hand all taped up, bandaged. First down and 10 from the 25. Morris hands it off. Gain of about 3 yards, 2-3 yards by McGrew. And Robert, you can tell we've gone to the backups right now. We've gone to the bullpen, the coats, a little chilly here, and the elements, a decisive factor on the play down in the field so far, it appears. But what does Washington have to do to get some explosive plays? That's been lacking for the last couple of games for that.
Yeah, their explosive plays are going to come once they get their running game going. They have to take shots. They've got two great playmakers on the outside in Bynum and McMillan. But if you can't get the running game going, you're not going to give your quarterback enough time to make the plays.
Oregon blitzing, and they get to him. They sack him. That's Bassa back at about the 23-yard line. They brought a little pressure, Quint.
Jeffrey Bassa gets credit for the tackle for loss.
You guys mentioned the rain. It's about 45 degrees. The rain keeps coming down. The officials have done a nice job of keeping the footballs dry. Both teams got to, dry up during halftime. And Mario Cristobal telling me 2 keys in the second half. Find rhythm, maybe find some yards after catch on offense. That is a hallmark of this Oregon offense. They have had little yards after catch and continue to endure and persevere through the crowd and through these elements.
All right, Quint, that pass complete out to the 35-yard line to the tight end, Cade Otten. He comes up a little bit short. Jamal Hill making the tackle on the play. That's what our Q-tips came in like. Coach Cristobal, the head coach, 4th year on the sidelines for the Ducks. As Washington going to have to punt it away here. Persevere and endure. Cristobal telling us several times during our meeting with him, 1-0 is the goal every week. Number 4 team in the college football playoff. Nose of the football down for Race Porter, who did some big things in the special teams game in the first half. Pittman with the return out to the 31-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 for quarterback Anthony Brown from there after the 43-yard punt. Robert, how tough is it when you look at weather like that on the screen in terms of your play calling, decision making, just things that you take for granted? How does it impact you at quarterback?
Yeah, that weather graphic right there could literally say miserable. That's what it is, okay? It's miserable out there right now. It's cold. You can't feel your hands. Your ankles are swollen. And when you're trying to throw the football, you can't get quite a great grip. So these guys have to go out there, and they're fighting the mental battle just as much as they are the physical right now.
Brown hands it off. Nice move to the outside, out to the 42-yard line. That's Travis Dye. And Dye picks up the first down for the Ducks. Got 11 on the game.
It's Travis Dye just out there doing Travis Dye things, right? Catches it out of the backfield. Great runner out of the backfield. I mean, and in the package that he is, 5'10", 190 pounds, he does more with less than anybody else in the country.
11 rushes today for 65 yards for him. Guy again. Brought down by Sermon. When this Oregon squad lost C.J. Verdell, they weren't sure who was going to be able to pick up the slack. But boy, Travis Dye and Byron Cardwell last week especially have come in, and they really haven't skipped a beat in running the football, averaging close to 200 yards per contest on the ground.
You're right, they haven't. C.J. Verdell is a special player, Heisman-type player. Travis Dye's had his opportunity to come out and show that he can do it all, and he's doing that with perfection.
Brown hands it off. Dye again into Washington territory, coming up a little bit short of the first down. Important mention here, folks. Listen up to this one. Johnny Johnson is now eligible to come back into the ball game at wide receiver for Oregon. He missed the first half, the result of a targeting penalty. There he is right there, number 3. that he incurred during the previous game against Stanford. So he could be a factor. He's one of their starters. 3rd and short. Brown, they hand it up. Gashing hole up the middle. And Dye off to the races. Tackled inside the 5. 1st and goal. Gordon saved a touchdown for the Huskies. Travis Dye kicked in with the accelerator and ran 45 yards.
Oh, wow. He went 0 to 100 real quick right there, didn't he? Travis Dye, he's going to get this ball, and I want you to look right here at this hole. Woo, buddy. That's a massive hole in college football. He's out there trying to be fancy like Applebee's, baby. He's going down, and look at him. Almost makes it to the end zone. Travis Dye is out here making plays.
And you think about how tough that tailback is. Dye just 5'10", 190. I mentioned that big game he had against UCLA where he became the first player in FBS ever to run for a touchdown on 4 consecutive carries. He actually had a migraine headache prior to that game and still played. Now, for migraine sufferers out there, if you know what that's like, to be able to go out and play football where you're going to get hit, that's an amazing feat. Incredible toughness.
Yeah, Travis Dye, like you said, incredible toughness. Man, you see right here,
Trent McDuffie
going down. He's letting them know he's going to be back out there soon. We don't want to see these guys getting hurt out there. He's an important cog in their defense, and really we had great conversations with him this week in our conference calls, and really pulling for that guy to be okay.
He talked about the Buda Baker influence on the program and his influence on him personally. One of the greats here to play at Washington. 1st and goal. After the longest play of the day. Brown hands it off again to Dye. Moves the pile down to about the 3, and they pull him out by his leg. It'll be 2nd down and goal for the Ducks. Talk about that. 4 straight plays, 4 carries, 4 touchdowns. That's not easy. Oh, that's not easy. I don't care where you're starting from. Cardwell in the backfield now on 2nd and goal. Johnson in motion to the top of your screen. Brown with a great move. Hit him with the sauce for the touchdown. He shook Tunu Ufui, who never even got a hand on him.
He didn't. He really didn't get a hand on him. Anthony Brown out there trying to teach him how to cha-cha. Look at that. Couple moves, gets into the end zone, and they're dancing, baby. They're dancing on the sideline.
Big time move by Anthony Brown, his 7th rushing touchdown of the season, the 13th of his career, and the Ducks with a very impressive opening drive here in the 3rd quarter. Extend the lead to 17-9. Anthony Brown saying, you know what? I think I'm the best man for the job, and got Huskies everywhere shaking their head, trying to shake things off. Taco Bell welcomes you to the Live Más Student Section of the Year contest. Use hashtag StudentSectionSauce to get the committee's attention, and go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete. Windy, wet, in the words of Robert Griffin a moment ago, miserable. And Quint Kesnick down there on the sideline, braving the weather down there. How bad is it, Quint?
The rain is actually abating here a bit, Jonesy, and I'm by the heater. And guess who's with me? It's like a de facto quarterback's room down here. Look at these guys, the signalers. We're by the heater. Are you kidding me? Man, that is that.
Tells the story. Giles Jackson got an alley, still on his feet, out across the 40, and a great return to the 45-yard line in what feels like a little bit of an important juncture here for Washington, especially offensively, to make some plays here and keep some drives alive.
They have to. This Oregon offense can score in bunches and in a hurry. So if they want to stay in this football game, Dylan Morris is going to have to strap it up and make sure they put some drives together, right? Move the chains, throw the ball, catch the ball, open up some holes for the running backs, because you do not want this game to turn into a shootout, or a one-sided one at that.
Right. Cameron Davis in a tailback on 1st and 10. Dunze in motion. Now he sets. They run it. That's going to be Davis. Davis with a nice gain of about 6. Well, the next stop on the F1 schedule is Mexico City Grand Prix tomorrow afternoon. Lewis Hamilton trails Max Verstappen by 12 points. And the driver's standing, so it's a big one with just 5 races left in the season. Our coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific on ABC and the ESPN App 1 tap. On the jet sweep, Odunze again nowhere to go, pushed out of bounds right near the line of scrimmage by Jordan Happel, who's having himself a night tonight. Got a little bit of support. There's a lot of tape and a lot of padding on that right hand.
I was going to say,
playing injured.
Happel looks like he's going to have his hands full, at the end of this game with the way he's playing.
3rd down and 4 for the Huskies. Jalen McMillan is usually Dylan Morris' security blanket here. Great time for Cade Otton to have his number called as well. Going to take a shot downfield. Incomplete. Intended for Odunze.
Oh my Lord, Odunze. That would have been an incredible catch. Watch him, he's tracking it over his opposite shoulder. That's one of the hardest catches to make. Hits his hands and he just misses it. Oh, that was a big play right there. Man, 3rd and 4. If he makes that play, not only do they move the chains, but the momentum, right? Uncle Mo might be on their side, but instead, they got to punt the ball away.
Micah Pittman back with this punt. Odunze had a touchdown last week in that win against Stanford. Pardon me, it was McMillan that had the touchdown. Odunze had a productive week, though. Nose of the football down for Race Porter. As punt fielded at the 10-yard line by Pittman. Nowhere to go. 39-yard punt, not much on the return. Emotions running high and tangible, palpable. Sometimes it's about how you handle that disappointment. Back after this.
Want to tackle your fitness? Hey Siri, tell me more about Apple Fitness Plus.
Hey Siri, speaking of fitness, what about the strength coach, Aaron Feld of the University of Oregon? I mean, he's popping out of that medium shirt that he's wearing.
Oh, without a doubt. And look
With
at
good
that
reason.
Look at that mustache. He doesn't need a jacket. That mustache keeps him warm. I don't think it's moved all night. He must have some serious wax in that bad boy.
Big part of the success of this Oregon program.
Strength coach is the secret weapon in every program.
We'll keep talking about that. 1st and 10 here from the 15. Brown led his team down the field for a touchdown on the previous drive. Nice 8-yard gain by Dye. What about the strength coach who spends so much time with these players, more than the coordinators, right?
Without a doubt. And the strength coach is the one who shapes not only their bodies, right, in the weight room and the activities that they do in the conditioning, but also their minds and how they're going to approach that game. And if you can have a strength coach who is in lockstep with the head coach and the coordinators and what they want, he can deliver that for you. And physicality is what Oregon has been looking for. I think they're getting it.
Running the ball again, picking up the 1st down. It's Travis Dye. What are those things? That's that shake weight. Those things still got those in stock?
I thought those were retired.
Man, Siri, Look up shake weight for me and see where I can find one.
I'm sure you can find some interesting videos.
7:05 to go in the third. Byron Cardwell in the backfield. I just want you to know I'm throwing around those 35-pound kettlebells in the gym now.
As long as it's not shake weight.
Okay. Well, no shake that time for Cardwell, who was collared right away by Braylon Trice. Huskies defense looking to get a stop here and get off the field because Oregon was really impressive, although it's still just a one-score game. It's 8-point advantage for the Ducks. A game that we figured would be.
Finally gotten in the we're going to keep pushing y'all back. Let's see if the Ducks can get out of this hole on 2nd and long.
Cardwell motions out of the backfield. Brown on a predetermined quarterback run stays on his feet. Going to have 3rd down and about 3 or 4 to go. You know, you talk about that offensive line. Mario Cristobal, an old offensive lineman at heart, where he won national championships at the University of Miami. A guy that knows the value of rolling up his sleeves every day and going to work.
And listen, he said it. There is no cuddly way to prepare guys to be physical. You have to work at physicality. And you can just see it in his approach, in his demeanor, and what he wants from his guys.
Oregon 4 of 9 on 3rd downs, and they'll convert again. Travis Dye moving the chains. And back to Cristobal from Miami, Florida. Dade County guy. Columbus High School in South Miami. 2nd generation Cuban American. A very successful immigrant story behind his coaching career. When you talk about his mom and dad coming to this country, working a couple of jobs each to learn the language and to support their family. And it's something that he absorbed very young in life and carries on to this day. Grew again, picks up about 5. Pardon me, Travis Dye again picks up about 5. Of course, he worked with Coach Saban at Alabama, was the head coach at FIU as well. And you know what the best part is? I'm comforted to know, being a Miami resident myself, that he knows where to get his oxtail, his cafecito, his café con leche, his arroz con pollo,
keep going,
when he needs it.
He did tell us that he he loves his Cuban coffee.
Yes.
And his mom sent it to him from the motherland.
That's first class.
That's first class. We got a lot of motherlands out there.
2nd down and 5. Brown out of the backfield. Boy, nowhere to go for Cardwell. Brought down immediately. Good tackle by Radley Hiles.
But, you know, just talking about that physicality and what Mario Cristobal has brought to this Oregon program, it's the exact opposite of what Rick Neuheisel had said years before, talking about as a conference in the Pac-12. You know, we have to get bigger. We have to play in a league. We play in a league that's smaller and more skilled, and make all kinds of plays, but we don't look the part physically. And Cristobal does not want that to be the case for these Oregon Ducks, so that when they go against the Alabamas and the Georgias, that not only will they match up skill-wise, but they'll also match up in the physical department.
On 3rd and 10, Brown quickly completes it, and that's going to be short. That's Ferguson, who looks discernibly short of the 1st down without a review or measurement. It's 4th and about 2 to go. With 3:08 to play, on comes the punt squad. Tom Snead going to come into this football game. Love the way that Coach Cristobal said this year's team is unique in the sense that they've overcome a lot of injuries, freak injuries. They've shown a lot of resilience coming out of the pandemic as well, going back to last year, and they have, in his words, really poured into each other. Speaking of pouring, the rain continues. Down on Calle Ocho, they love Miami's finest right there in the rain here in Seattle. Back after this. Welcome back, everyone. Let's take a look at this week's college football playoff rankings brought to you by Allstate. Of course, Michigan State losing today against Purdue. You would expect Oregon, if they win here tonight, to move up. Ohio State moving up. Cincinnati, where do you see things shaking out? How?
Yeah, I just don't think anything will really change other than Michigan State moving down if Oregon stays pat and holds serve here in this game. But it's just it's going to be a wild finishing season with this college football playoff rankings and these teams are where they're slated.
They remember November on 1st and 10, nowhere to go. And it's going to be a couple of yards for Sean McGrew, who came into the football game with a total of almost 400 yards on the ground, got 2 there.
And listen, if you're in the Pac-12, the only team that you have really representing you right now in the college football playoff rankings is Oregon.
Yep.
Right, and they're 7-1. They've got the best chance to get into the dance. But it's just a matter of, are they good enough to do it? Are they good enough to run the table, finish the year strong, and represent well in that CFP?
2nd down and 8. Morris under some heat, got out of the end zone. Good move. Nice run. Rocked at the 12 by Sewell. Under 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. There's a look at the percentages. 3% chance to make it to the college football playoff. Of course, those are just numbers and percentages, Robert. I'm going to put a little bit of stock in that Oregon win at Ohio State. They were impressive in that. That did not happen by chance.
Ball start, number 68, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
This was entering today.
And Jones, you're right. That win does mean something. I think this playoff predictor is more so speaking to the fact that they don't know if Oregon will be able to run the table at the end of the year, as opposed to them being a good team or being able to represent the Pac-12 in the CFP. But man, 3%, that's really low.
Washington just 1 of 8 on 3rd down so far tonight. And we got a whistle and
Delay a game, number 9 offense. Half the distance to the goal line, still 3rd down.
Well, they're going to push it back a little bit more for the Huskies, whose offensive struggles continue here.
I don't know if you heard that. I think I heard a couple boos in the stadium, getting a little frustrated with this Husky offense and Dylan Morris. It's got to be better, not get those delay of game penalties.
There have been calls already earlier this season for Sam Heward, highly recruited QB number 2. That pass tipped out of bounds. It was coming in a little bit hot for Otten. And it's 4th down, and there is a little shower and chorus of boos coming down from the fans that are still here. And there's a look at Sam Heward. Yeah, he's the son of
Damon Heward.
Brock. Yeah, Damon.
Damon is, yeah, his uncle. His uncle is Brock. They all played here. He's a legacy type of player here. He's a guy that highly rated, 5-star pro-style quarterback. They've been clamoring for him for weeks, but
everybody loves QB2.
Oh my gosh, they love QB2.
Here's the punt from Race Porter, fielded by Pittman. And a nice alley up the right side. Pittman still on his feet. A great return inside the 25 to the 21-yard line, and the Ducks surging a little bit here, have a little bit of giddy up in their gallop. Going to start off with great field position on this drive with under 30 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. And I think it was important that Anthony Brown came out in that opening drive of the 3rd quarter and marched his team down the field and scoring that touchdown on that pass to Devin Williams. This hasn't been the type of game, and still feels, Robert, like the type of game where a touchdown, not a field goal, but a touchdown almost feels like 2 touchdowns.
Correct. Neither team is really just lighting up the scoreboard. And because they're going through this process of trying to figure out what they're going to be great at, any points do, right? Here, he finds Red and down the seam. Then he's rolling out, stretching the defense, and finds his guy, Devin Williams, for the touchdown. And it's been a heavy dosage of him utilizing his legs to put pressure on the defense all day.
Brown hands it off again to Travis Dye. Dye out of Norco, California. Brother Troy, of course, played at Oregon. Get a player shaken up on the field. That's Ryan Walk, number 53. Dye has run the ball tonight 20 times for 145 yards. So the announcement was just made that Devin Williams, wide receiver, is going to have to come out for a play because his helmet came off. And boy, that's some real teamwork, man. You got your man there putting a blanket on you.
Listen,
that's closeness. That's,
you got it.
That's love right there.
That's not. It's closeness. It's love. But that's a secure man right there. Okay. You got to be secure in your masculinity when you're going out there and you're hugging a man with a jacket.
If it's cold.
If it's cold,
I'm with it.
You know, whatever you got to do by any means necessary.
I don't do cold well. We got, like I said, a man down to the field, Ryan Walk. This Oregon offensive line, remember, just got Alex Forsythe back today, number 78. The offensive line, Robert, has been doing a nice job over the last several weeks keying that rush game, which has averaged close to 200 yards per contest. And we talked about it a little bit earlier. Rick Neuheisel talking about having to look the part as a conference. When you look at this offensive line for Oregon, across the front, 332 pounds, 293, 303, 318, 324. That checks a lot of boxes for me. What do you think?
It checks a lot of boxes, and you see Ryan Walk right here coming off the field. He's been an important piece for them, right? He's played center while Alex Forsythe has been out, and he's a guy that everybody in that room respects. You know, they feel like he works really, really hard, and as you see off the field, he's still holding up the 4 quarters, right? Oregon's ahead right now. Singing shout from Eugene right now.
Cue it up. That's the end of the third quarter. 15 minutes to play. As far as team sports go and in life, sharing is caring. Sharing is caring.
They better get them some more jackets.
Put that blanket on me. Welcome back, everyone. This is Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One. 2nd down and 7 for the Ducks. From the Washington 19, Brown on the RPO. Hands it off to Dye. Dye cuts it north-south. Touchdown, Oregon!
Oh, my, Travis Dye. He is something else, isn't he? Just makes it look so easy out there.
And great cut when he saw the hole and sprinted in the end zone.
Man, like
it's
I said,
14-point lead now for the Ducks.
5'10", 190. Not the slight guy, not the biggest guy, right? But he makes it work.
Lewis with the extra point. Hey, score touchdowns, Travis, or die trying. Back to the studio. I don't know if there's such a thing as ugly wins, but there have been some close wins from some teams and losses from the teams in the top part of the college football playoff.
Man,
back here 24-9 after that Dye run. His 11th rushing touchdown of the season. 16th of his career. They've really hung their hat on him here today in the rain.
Yeah, and
it's paid off.
And not just today. Really, they've hung their hat on him since C.J. Verdell went down, and he's produced. I know NFL GMs and scouts are just licking their lips. Can't wait to get their hands on this guy because he can do just about everything you ask for a back. He can run between the tackles. Maybe you don't want to put him in there and run him down there 20 times.
Beat him up.
But he can do it.
Okay.
And he can catch the ball in the backfield. You can motion him out in the slot. I mean, don't they have a guy in New Orleans that kind of does a little bit of that?
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara.
Sure.
You know?
This Oregon team started off slowly, but finding its footing right now. Dye, 21 rushes, 164 yards on the ground. And a great way to start the final quarter for the Oregon Ducks. A fair catch called. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25.
Yeah, you just see it right here. Travis Dye, they're running the quarterback read. He gets out. Look at those sweet feet. Gets vertical, and literally, in the twinkle of an eye, he was in the end zone. Crazy.
Love that.
Listen, he might be slight, but he is the right guy, and his name is Travis Dye.
See what the Huskies do here. Dylan Morris coming down at quarterback still.
Look at the passion. He loves it. He doesn't care if it's raining. He doesn't care how cold it is. He just wants to play ball, baby.
See if Dylan Morris can stop the hemorrhaging in the middle of this 21-0 run, a scoring run for the Ducks. Morris pulls the trigger over the middle. Pass is caught for a gain of about 7 by Cade Otton. Well, the college basketball season tips off Tuesday. What a lineup we have for you on ESPN. Women's hoop matchup of the day, 5 Eastern, number 1 South Carolina, number 5 NC State. Then first game of the Champions Classic at Madison Square Garden as McGrew runs it. Kansas involved in that one, taking on Michigan State. And then we cap the night off with the second Champions Classic matchup, number 11 Kentucky taking on number 9 Duke. Everything also available on ESPN. One app, one tap. 3rd down and short for the Huskies. Trying to stay on the field. They will with this nice run by McGrew, who moves the chains. 7-yard gain. A Pac-12 basketball really repped it well in the NCAA tournament. Oregon number 4 in first college football playoff rankings. In the NCAA tournament, they really had a lot of teams make it to the Sweet 16. Another completion to Cade Cotton. 15-yard gain. 3 Pac-12 hoop teams made it to the Elite 8.
They're trying to let them know they play ball out west.
Yep. Taking a shot down deep, Dylan Morris. And missed badly, intended for his favorite hookup, McMillan. Stride for stride, right with him was Mikhail Wright.
So, Jonesy, what do you think? What basketball, football school does it the best right now out west? Who is it?
Out west. Anywhere?
Or anywhere. Or anywhere.
Oh, that's a hard one. Michigan State's got to be up there. Tom Izzo, Coach Tucker on the football side. Nice screen, great run, great cut by McGrew, still on his feet, and inside the 30 to the 26. Baylor?
I was going to say Baylor. Scott Drew, you know, Coach Aranda, they're doing the thing out there, man, you know?
Yeah.
Listen.
Got to give me a bigger sample on the football side recently.
Oh, recently, okay.
Back to pass. Morris, I couldn't let you get away with that. Into the end zone and throws it away.
What do you call recent? Because you have some recency bias right now.
They're going to bring this back. Morris was across the line of scrimmage, close to it. 2nd down actually coming up from the 26. Yeah, I just like a bigger body of work.
A bigger body of work, okay.
Yeah, just slightly.
Right now on Twitter, they're putting that body of work together for you.
Don't get me wrong, I love Baylor basketball and football.
Hey, you can't forget about the women's basketball program either.
Yes.
Listen, they've been balling for a long time. Big 12 champs.
You just moved the question on me, though. You moved the goalposts on me, so to speak. On the run, this is Cameron Davis. And that's going to be a flag. Looks like one of many today.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And with basketball season around the bend on ESPN, and speaking of Oregon, having success here, a great Oregon basketball alumni, Coach Jamie Craighead, doing a fantastic job at San Jose State University, getting ready to start their season soon. And Coach Jasmine Holliday also on that staff as a coach, both former players here at Oregon. On the run, this is Cameron Davis. Got a yard on the play.
And you know, while we're talking about this basketball stuff, Washington's putting together pretty decent drive here.
Moving it
when
down.
you talk about their team motto, uncommon unity, right? They're sticking together. They're continuing to fight. And, they're not giving up. One of their sayings is time to go back to work. So they don't care how many points Oregon scores. They're going to continue to go back to work and try to win this football game.
3rd down and 4. Up top, single coverage, contact, flag. Look like we're going to have a pass interference as Bynum tried to make the catch, working against Manning.
Yeah, Manning got
Pass interference, number 8, defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. That's an automatic. First down.
Yeah, he definitely held him there. Look, Bynum saying, every time I try to leave, something keeps pulling me back. Look at him. Dante Manning just said, hey, sometimes it's better to not give up the touchdown, take the penalty, make them earn it the hard way, man. It's kind of like in basketball. When you go to the goal, we ain't no easy buckets. We're going to foul you.
Make them feel it.
Make them feel it. Right there, Dante Manning just got beat, and coach is probably upset with them, but at the same time, they've got an opportunity to still get a stop.
1st and goal from the 5. Otten sets. Morris looking to pass, and wisely throws it away. Was he outside the pocket? Because it did go beyond the line of scrimmage. No receiver there. Mikhail Wright with great pressure on Dylan Morris. I thought that would have been grounding. Did not hear a ruling from the official.
Quarterback was out of the pocket. The ball crossed the line of scrimmage, second down.
Okay, they're saying he was out of the pocket. 10th play of the drive coming up for the Huskies here. They need a score. Otten in motion. They'll run it between the tackles to Cameron Davis, who makes it down to about the 2, got 3 yards. 3rd and goal coming up.
Yeah,
Robert, we're talking about them 4 down territory, right? I mean, at this point,
1,000% 4-down territory. Field goal at this point in the game, the way that it's going, and Oregon seems like they're in a little bit of a rhythm offensively. It's not going to cut it. You got to call this play on 3rd down as if you're going to have another one. So pull out your bag of tricks. Whatever you got right here, you got to get it done. Dylan Morris has to get this ball into the end zone.
Thibodeau has more pressures than anyone else in college football this year. McGrew in the backfield. On the toss into the boundary. Makes a cut. Stayed on his feet and got the touchdown. What a run by Sean McGrew.
This is the 2nd time that Sean McGrew, when you get down there and it doesn't work the first time, just keep going, man. His first touchdown run, he hit a brick wall, bounced off, and then found the hole. Right here, he hits another brick wall. Boom! Lowers the shoulder, and he gets into the end zone with a little help from his buddy, shoving him in there as well.
McGrew just 180 pounds. But a tough run, the extra point good, and it's a 1-score game. Plenty of football to go with 11:13 to play in the 4th quarter. The eyes are the windows to the soul. And both these teams doing a little soul searching in the rain. Plenty of football left here in Seattle. We'll be right back.
The Oregon Ducks Road Show in Seattle, brought about a dozen NFL scouts to the table today because of Kayvon Thibodeau. And while he's been quiet, this guy represents the new space age, new wave, next generation of stars with what he's been able to do off the football field, NIL. He's got multiple deals. He's got an NFT. He's launched his own cryptocurrency. We're talking up to $500,000. He's building a brand, but for him, he told us, I want to show people I'm the best in the nation. So it starts with playing great football. Tonight he's been quiet. He's been chipped. He's been doubled. They've slid the protection to him. They've cut him. He has seen it all this season, and this guy projects definitely to be a top 10 pick.
Yeah, great report, Quint, not to mention the fact that he's got a 3.2 GPA and he's going to graduate in 3 years, getting it done on and off the football field. Hey, Oregon had to know, Robert Griffin III, that this wasn't going to be easy. Washington with a big-time response on the drive a moment ago to make it a one-score game. 11 plays, 75 yards on that drive. 1st and 10 for the Ducks from the 25. Brown hands it off again. Travis Dye once again. Picks up 4 once again. Fatui making the tackle this time for Washington. Fatui, that guy right there, is the other projected first-round pick. What a great story he is, folks. In a routine drill and practice about 6.5 months ago, he tore his Achilles tendon. He was told by doctors, you'll be lucky to be back for a bowl game in either December or January. Well, he made his debut several weeks ago after 6 months after having surgery from a torn Achilles tendon.
False start, number 74 offense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Think about the arduous rehab. Robert, you've gone through ACL rehab. Achilles tendon rehab is just as tough.
Yeah, just as tough. You have to stay off of the injury for a long period of time. A number of my former teammates have had it. But I don't know what these guys are taking, man. It's legal. It's very legal, of course. But whatever they're taking, man, these guys are coming back faster and faster from injuries.
On 2nd and 11, Brown going to hand it off again to Dye. Find a nice seam, still on his feet. Great move, hesitation, and all the way down to the 45-yard line. Radley Hiles barely tripping him up. And into Washington territory.
Oh my, as you see, their running game is getting more and more effective. It's because of Travis Dye and that offensive line. He's out in the open field teaching defenders how to cha-cha. This guy's making them dance with the moves he's making. You gotta love that type of feeling and that type of atmosphere from a running back who maybe isn't the biggest guy, but he's almost got 200 yards rushing.
He was running back number 2 behind C.J. Verdell before the latter was injured. Byron Cardwell in the ball game, and another flag.
False start, multiple players on the line of scrimmage. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Kickoff Week 9 NFL Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific, with the Countdown crew on ESPN and the app. Randy Moss weighs in on the Odell Beckham Jr. situation, plus an inside story of how Phil Collins' song In the Air Tonight remains a pregame anthem for the biggest NFL stars. And like every Sunday, get all the early breaking stories, injury updates, previews of each game right up to kickoff. Brown on the RPO completes it to his tight end, Matavao. He gets it into Washington territory at about the 49, picks up 4 on the play. Did you play In the Air Tonight in the locker room at all?
No, I did not.
It wasn't an anthem for you.
It was not an anthem for me. It was, probably a little before my time.
When you press play, what do you hear?
Oh, on my playlist?
Yeah.
Look, Fred Hammond. You know about that? You know about Fred Hammond?
Wow. Yeah, of course.
No Weapon. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Mom's got us on that early.
There's Anthony Brown. Nowhere to go this time. Might have picked up a yard. Smalls was one of the first ones to get there for the Huskies defense as we approach 8.5 to go here in the 4th quarter. Still just a 1-score game, and 3rd down coming up for Oregon. Cardwell comes out. Dye comes back in. Brown has been handing it off for most of the night. hasn't made a lot of huge throws except for that one touchdown.
Ever since that interception early in the game, they have been very conservative on offense from a throwing the ball standpoint. So right here on 3rd and 10, pivotal 3rd down, you would think they would throw the ball, but who knows, maybe they run it again.
Webb sets after going in motion. Brown back to pass. Complete for the 1st down. Dropped it in exactly where it had to be to Johnny Johnson. Johnson, who missed the first half of this football game after the targeting penalty he had last week in Colorado. The gain is good for 13.
You see right here, Johnny Johnson gets his feet in, 1, 2. Hey, look, that was not only a catch in college football, that's a catch in the NFL. And Anthony Brown, listen, 3rd and 10, probably the most pivotal 3rd down of the entire game. He uses his arm and shuts down all those doubters that said, this guy can't get it done through the air.
Hands it off again. Boy, Travis Dye got bent backwards there in an awkward motion and angle. Cameron Williams made the tackle. And Dye miraculously okay. I tell you what,
oh my
strength
Lord.
coach is doing his job here. If guys can withstand this, Robert.
Oh, your body's not supposed to bend like that, Mr. Gumby. I'm just happy that he got up and can walk away from that one.
Aaron Feld, we saw a shot of him a little bit earlier, the strength and conditioning coach. There he is. You can't miss him. He's got his guys pliable and flexible.
Must be all that yoga and Pilates, huh?
It works. It works.
It does work.
Hot yoga. 2nd and 11. Another run by Cardwell. Picks up the 1st down, eating up a little bit more clock. Actually, he's going to be short, a 9-yard gain. But Travis Dye has really come on the last several games running the football for Oregon.
Wow. 619 total yards. And 9 touchdowns. 4 games.
And now Oregon can afford to be a little bit deliberate with that play clock. Run it down to 7. Oh, great move by Cardwell. And lunging ahead. I'm not going to say he got the 1st down. We've seen too many strange reviews today. Sermon made the tackle. Let's take a look at the spot. And it looks like they are going to move the sticks. It's a 1st down with under 6 minutes to go. Travis Dye and Byron Cardwell as a tandem have gotten it done today.
Yes, they have. And here's another review.
On the field is that the runner made a 1st down. The previous play is under further review.
We got a timeout. We're going to have a review and have the adjudication on the other side. Stick around.
Saturday Night Football on ABC is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Little known fact, the Pike Street Fish Market here in Seattle, not only a place for good eats and souvenir shopping, but home to upwards of 500 people living above and in the confines. I had a great seafood meal there a couple of nights ago. I was looking to take you to lunch, but I couldn't find you. Did you get down there?
Yes, we did get down there, and I didn't get the seafood, but I did get a couple donuts from the bakery. Hey, man, it was fire down there. I can't even lie.
Yeah, you'll be going for your 3rd workout a little bit later. You can afford that stuff.
If you work out like I and my family do, then you can eat some donuts from time to time.
6-point lead for Oregon. 1st down and 10. Impressive rushing game once again for Oregon. 276 yards on the ground. And adding to that total here, Dye got about 5. Hey, you talked about pastries. Which one did you get? What'd you get? And I didn't see you bring any of that back for me.
Oh,
your
yeah.
partner,
It wasn't
your
in
teammate.
I got the cookie
your
right
guy.
there with the M&Ms in it for my daughters, okay?
Right.
And then I got a little apple cinnamon donut, and then we had a raspberry Bismarck and a lemon drop.
Wow.
Look, I can see just, oh, my mouth is watering right now thinking about those donuts, man.
Nothing for your play-by-play announcer.
Oh, come on, man. You didn't get me no seafood. What you talking about? You must have ate it all.
They try to put this game away right now, Oregon, looking for their 3rd consecutive win against Washington and their 15th in the last 17 games. Brown handing it off again, and the invariable, inexorable efforts of Travis Dye getting close to a first down again. You can almost sense that this Washington defense, which has been pretty good for most of the game, Robert, is wearing down a little bit. They've been on the field a lot here.
They are wearing down, and they've been wearing down on both sides of the ball. But, man, you just can't talk good enough about Travis Dye and the amount of carries he's had today. 26 for 204 yards. He's really put it out there. When you look at his numbers over the last 4 games, I don't think anybody has had a better stretch over the last 4 games than he has. And the Heisman race is still wide open.
Okay. Gets another opportunity here. Picks up the first down. The clock continues to run. Washington with a full complement of 3 timeouts remaining. Oregon also with 3 timeouts. Travis Dye and Byron Cardwell have gotten it done today. Anthony Brown, what do you say about the Oregon quarterback? I mean, he seemed to settle down nicely after that interception at least, right?
He did, and here's the thing. Anthony Brown, if you look at the numbers, doesn't have 100 yards passing. But the bottom line is he's doing enough to help his team win. And a lot of times in some of these games, you're going to have some tough outings, right? Mm-hmm. And you have to be able to right the ship and get good and do whatever that your team is asking you to do, even if that is running the ball more than you throw it.
They're going to run it again. Dye, first down, brought down just before the end zone. And we have a flag down on the play. But Travis Dye is showing no signs of slowing down. And what do you say about those guys up front? Let's see what this flag is all about. It's at the 8-yard line. His offensive linemen, Jones, Walk, Forsythe, Bass, Moore, did a nice job in what is amounting to close to 300 yards on the ground now.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 78 offense, 15-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Alex Forsythe, who just came back today after missing several weeks, 4 weeks with a back injury.
Yeah, you just look, the big guys up front don't get enough love, and Forsythe right here, you see he's climbing to the next level, just opening up holes for Travis Dye. And they said that it was a little bit of unsportsmanlike conduct, right? Probably some roughing in there.
Okay.
But I don't know if Mario Cristobal is all that mad about that, because that physicality is what we talked about, and what we talked about in the Pac-12. They have to be able to play against those SEC schools and those Big Ten schools and Big 12 schools. So I don't think he's too mad about that penalty there.
Cardwell in the backfield. Matavao in motion. Now he sets. The give is to Cardwell. Still on his feet. And it's blown dead after a gain of about 2 on the play. 2:36 to go. And what about the fact, as we have another flag on the play, Oregon is not the Oregon that we know from a while back where they were up-tempo, fast. They've been a little bit more methodical, right?
Yeah, they've been able to change their tempos. They're not quite the super fast, high-flying, throw it all over the place, big running holes type of
After
offense.
the play, personal foul, face mask, number 4 offense, 15-yard penalty, still first down.
Okay, he's mad about that one.
Yeah.
Okay, now
Not
you're putting back-to-back penalties out there and pushing your offense further and further back when you were right there on the cusp of putting this game away. Man, I know he's pretty upset now. Here he is.
Pittman. Michael Pittman, yeah.
Oh, Pittman gets tripped. Little UFC move there by Williams. Looked like he was ready to fight.
Yeah. Throw some hands.
I didn't know they do that. I didn't know they do that out here in the West.
Oh, they do.
They throw hands.
I did an Oregon-Boise State game once with a guy named LeGarrette Blount.
Oh, I remember that one.
He played for Oregon.
He threw a hand.
Yes. 2:36 to play. Brown on the RPO. Wisely throws it out of bounds. Stops the clock. You don't want to do that.
Play is legal. Quarterback was out of the pocket.
Well, our Week 9 Monday Night Football matchup has Justin Fields and the Bears in Pittsburgh taking on Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. ESPN, Deportes, and the app. Our coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Anthony Brown from Cliffwood, New Jersey, the transfer from Boston College. Doing a nice job as a game manager here tonight.
I just love his story. You know, going to Boston College, having 2 season-ending injuries to the knees, and then coming out here and claiming the starting job and leading this Oregon football team, number 4 ranking.
He has been clutch for them. Game-winning touchdowns or game-sealing touchdowns in 4 of their wins this year. Back after this. And his career, actually, at Boston College. Underwent 2 different knee surgical procedures. And during those, getting back on the football field and transferring to Oregon and being named QB number 1, and had his best week as a Duck last week, 25 of 31, and just 2 minutes and 30 seconds away from a win in this rivalry game against Washington, which was canceled a season ago. On the counter, Cardwell stays on his feet on 3rd and 33. Picked up 5. So Washington going to call a timeout here, no doubt, and stop the clock with 2:22 to go. But back to Anthony Brown, you know, talked about him staying in his happy place after a bumpy start to the season. That conversation with his dad, with Quincy Avery, told me that he did a lot of listening to music, and meditation was a time where he really put a lot of resources towards to keep his head together. Robert.
Yes, he did. And he talked about Quincy Avery and Achilles Smith and his dad, and how they all had the same message for him. Like, don't let the outside criticism affect how you feel about yourself. And the way he did that was getting to listening to music, working out, studying film. And I heard stories this week about him being up at the facility until 9 p.m., putting the work in, and that was his outlet to let all of his frustration out. And you've seen success on the field since those earlier, harder times in the season.
I tell you, Anthony's done a nice job at filtering the noise. He told us football is just a game I love. His mom was so impactful when he had the knee surgeries. New Jersey native making a name for himself, leading this Oregon Ducks team towards that college football playoff. Can they hold on here in Seattle? Stay with us. We're coming back.
Tonight's Fighting Spirit moment brought to you by Modelo. Now, as we said earlier, over the last 4 games, has anybody been as productive as Travis Dye has on the ground for the Oregon Ducks? He's racked up a lot of real estate, been a big factor in their success today. But Washington right now has the football, down by 8, still a 1-score game. Got to drive 90 yards here. Morris over the middle, dropped by his tight end, the usually dependable Cade Otton. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. Now, in that big win against Stanford last week, he found McMillan a couple of times on that final drive, which led to the touchdown.
Yes, Dylan Morris did, and he's feeling good. He's comfortable in these situations. He's got 3 game-winning drives on his resume now after last week at Stanford, so he knows that he can get this done. But can they stay away from Kayvon Thibodeau?
Morris looking to pass. Pocket collapse, completes it, and dropped. Wow. Dropped by Jalen McMillan, who was Mr. Dependable a week ago. Looked like he was trying to run before he made the catch, so it's 3rd down and 10. Look at the pressure here by Thibodeau.
Yeah, they had a spinner look there with Thibodeau on the inside. He literally destroys the running back trying to get his way to the quarterback. And these receivers, Cade Otton and Jalen McMillan, have both dropped the ball here. So now we're sitting at 3rd and 10, and this is exactly where Oregon wants them to be in this situation. Let's see if Dylan Morris can make some magic happen.
Over the middle, incomplete. No flag. McMillan, the intended target. Again, Jeffrey Bassa there to break it up, and it's 4th and 10. Last chance. A last gasp effort coming up now for the Huskies.
Oh, they're not. They're going to kick it away.
You like the call?
I don't like the call. Listen, Oregon's put together some long drives. You can hear the boos in the stadium right now. Oregon's put together some long drives running the ball. Washington's defense has not been able to stop them. Yeah, 4th and 10's not a high productive down, but you still got to try, right? But I guess Jimmy Lake knows more than we do.
Race Porter back to punt, standing 3 yards. They launch it deep through the back of the end zone, and that's going to be a safety. And that should just about do it. That snap came in real hot, and Race Porter never had a chance to make a catch. It wasn't high, it was wide to the right. Jaden Green with the snap, and that was way off target.
Here it is, Jaden Green, wet ball. It does go a little high and off to the right.
Yep.
High and to the right. I mean, listen, Yao Ming's not catching that one.
No.
You can just see Race Porter, just the body language, right? I'm just going to try to punt one out of here. Doesn't even get an opportunity to do it. Talk about that decision to punt it instead of going for it, and it backfires immediately right in Jimmy Lake's face. It's just.
And now they have to kick off.
Yeah, I mean, and did you see?
Oregon's going to get the football game, and that signals for some fans that it's time to head into the rainy night with 1:57 to go. And Oregon on the cusp of making it 3 consecutive wins against their border rival from Washington.
Well,
Mario Cristobal's team on the verge of improving to 8-1 overall. And remember, they came into the evening number 4 in the college football playoff.
Yes, they did. And man, I just thinking about this game, thinking about the time and place. You know, a legendary man who went to the University of Washington by the name of Bruce Lee.
Number 82 for Washington is now wearing number 86.
He said, "Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one." And today's been a difficult game all around for both teams. But Oregon persevered, and it looks like they might be able to come out with a win. It's a 2-score game. There's 1:57 left. Not only does Washington need to stop, but they got to score twice. Highly unlikely at this point.
Here comes the onside kick as expected and predicted. Out of bounds. It'll be Oregon football. Flag thrown as it goes out of bounds. And hey, speaking of Bruce Lee, you know, he met his wife here.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. Full disclosure, I went and saw Bruce Lee's grave here in Seattle. You know, he's been a very influential person in a lot of people's lives.
Yes.
And not just the quotes, but the philosophy. And my dad used to show me the flicks, and you look at his gravestone, and it says he passed away in 1973. That was 17 years before I was even born.
Wow.
And even I know the be like water.
Be like water.
Shapeless.
Kick out of bounds. Number 49 kicking team. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the out of bounds spot. First down.
Oregon football, first down and 10. They're going to place it about the 31. Washington with 2 timeouts remaining, but at this point, helpless.
Correction, that was number 47 of the kicking team.
So the question becomes, can the Oregon Ducks win out? And who do they face in the Pac-12 championship game if they are the representative from the Pac-12 North? Brown hands it off again, this time to Cardwell. Let's take a look at the remaining schedules for the college football playoff top 6.
Second charge timeout.
They've got Washington State, then go to Utah, Salt Lake City, take on the Utes, and then Corvallis. And man. Those rivalry games, there's another one.
They've got a boatload of tricky rivalry games there. You know, the Oregon State game, the Civil War. I mean, listen, if they can make it through that, get to the Pac-12 championship game and win, they control their own destiny. And I think that's what they have in their mind. They're that 1-0 mindset that Coach Cristobal has instilled into them, that they just take care of business and let everything else handle itself. I don't think you could keep you're not undefeated, but a Oregon team that runs the table. I don't think you can keep them out of the CFP with the way that they've played and the resume that they have.
I'm writing that down. 2nd and 7. Brown going to hang on to himself, and I think he stayed in bounds there. That loss that Oregon had to Stanford is their only blemish on their resume so far, but were you surprised that they ended up number 4?
I got to be honest, I was a little surprised that Oregon ended up being number 4, but now that they're there and you look at the landscape of college football, it's justifiable.
Yeah.
I do believe they have the best win in all of college football on their resume.
At Ohio State?
At Ohio State, going to Columbus and really controlling
Huge.
that game from start to finish.
I don't understand how Alabama ended up as high as they were.
Yeah, Bama being 2.
Losing to Texas A&M?
An unranked Texas A&M at the time. We don't know what the committee's going to do.
Right.
Okay, they're picking whoever they want. And
they're your friends. Byron Cardwell. Cardwell on the run, picked up about 3. You've been down to Dallas to that that mock college football playoff selection.
Yeah, I was
been
down
inside.
there.
Been inside the rooms.
Washington.
Heard the debates and the format and the system they use to vet the teams, and those are your friends. You got friends in high places, Robert Griffin. So when we talk about where teams end up, we'll find out again this week when the next round of rankings come out, and I'm guessing that Oregon is going to maybe stay where they are, move up a little bit.
Yeah, I think with this win today, they'll definitely move up. And I was down there, and I was actually blown away just with the way they go through the process and how they pick the teams. And you see this right here, just Ohio State, right? They controlled the game from start to finish, ran all over the place. Like I said, it's the most impressive win. And Oregon, like I'm telling you, the way the committee is selecting and the way they put out these first initial rankings, if they win out, they're in.
Yeah.
They have no issues. The team that has an issue is Cincinnati.
Kinley had that game-sealing interception against the Buckeyes. Yeah, I think Cincinnati was dealt a questionable hand.
Questionable? Come on, man.
Yeah. You want me to say they got robbed?
It's blasphemous. They got robbed. Say whatever you need to say. Winning has to mean something.
Yeah.
But to the committee, they're saying, look, the eye test and what we think means more than just wins. That's why you see teams like Houston, SMU, these non-Power 5 conference schools not even being ranked, and I just don't agree with it.
I like to think that it's a total meritocracy across the board, but sometimes you wonder. 26-16, Oregon with the ball, and Washington with no timeouts remaining. Cardwell going to run one in late and score another touchdown with 10 seconds to go. Once a guy's wound up, it's tough to turn him off.
I was going to say that touchdown right there just is the epitome of a rivalry.
Was that personal?
It was personal. Listen, the game's over.
Right.
You can take a knee, do whatever you want. Byron Cardwell say, "Oh, you're not going to tackle me? Huh? Say less.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and get in the end zone." And Coach Cristobal has no problem with it.
Yeah, he wasn't upset.
Not at all.
Smiles on the sidelines. 32-16.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
I mean, we should have known that was going to happen, right? We should have known there was going to be another review.
I think we set a record tonight in reviews.
Has to be. Here's the run.
Previous play under review.
Right, Caldwell's weaving, gets into the grasp, and right there, yeah, it's not a touchdown. He's short. It's not. He's short.
Okay, let's take a knee and wrap it up.
Yeah, I mean,
The official right there on the spot.
maybe he went to Oregon.
32-16.
Oh, man, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. The refs are out there doing the best that they can do. That's why they're reviewing it.
You look at this rivalry, and I think about, well, here's the call first.
Review, the runner was short of the goal line. The ball will be placed on the half-yard line. First down.
Now, if they punch it in now, that's really personal. That's next level personal, right?
Oh, that's next level personal. I don't know what Coach Cristobal is going to do, but if he doesn't take a knee and they run an offensive play here, he's going to, you know, let Washington coach Jimmy Lake know that they taught them a lesson today.
Well, the Washington Huskies on the verge of falling to 4-5. Their slowest start in several years. Oregon ranked number 4 in the college football playoff, and their highest ranking since 2014 when they made it to the championship game. Brown out of the shotgun.
Game's over, looks like.
That's the end of the game.
Appropriately, the official's whistle ends it. The Brain Trust, respectively, shaking hands at midfield. Brown bouncing back, 10 of 20 passing for 98 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Travis Dye was the guy that did a lot of the heavy lifting, though, offensively for the Oregon Ducks in this border war rivalry. They win it 26-16. In the rain for Quint Kesnick, Robert Griffin III, and our entire talented gang behind the camera. You never get a chance to see. I'm Mark Jones saying so long and no hard feelings from Seattle.